because they looked really, really well, I think, individually. But yeah, just as a team, we still need to work on some kinks.
Absolutely. And obviously an easy 2-0 there for the Wyverns, so that puts them in a good position. Stat padding their KDAs at the finest in that second game, absolutely. So
Yeah.
that'll be interesting. And only 2 wards coming out from Brucey U, which is the lowest in the game.
Yeah, but also,
I saw I pointed that out.
yeah, not many wards put out. Dystart with 13 wards on the team, we're literally carrying the game. 6k healing as well.
Absolutely, absolutely insanity from Dice High. Will he be our MVP? I wonder.
I don't think we're gonna do MVP. This what's it called? This set or this game. We're gonna go into the next game, which is 5 guys 3 lanes and 10 minutes of microwave. I forget the team name. It's so long. But we're gonna skip it and we're gonna get right into the next game because their match is about to start. So we're just gonna be waiting on that. We could do an interview as well. We can look at the teams as well. But we can go to we can go to the microwave team first. I can't see who is on their team. Thank you. So we have Young Legs, Unga Distinct. I can't read it because it's so blurry, but that's just on my end. Unga Instinct, sorry. We got Vintage Cow, Destinate, and we got Snowy. This is a top 4 team in my opinion. Very, very good players and very, very experienced players.
Yeah, this is very experienced. We've seen these people before. We've seen this team before, or these people in the team before. And I believe we do have one of them here to interview.
Yes, let's drag him into the call.
Ah.
Go, Vintage.
Hi, I'm Vintage.
Just got a few questions for you. You are versing 5 guys 3 lanes, and
Yes.
they have changed their draft a little bit. If you don't know by now,
Oh.
they or not draft, they're the positions on the team. So we have Derv and support, Gorilla in the mid, and we have
I know.
Flick switching. How do you feel about that? Are you worried about that at all, or do you think it's still going to be a piece of cake in your mind?
Oh, I've been having worry warts all day, and then I think this current roster they have is actually pretty good, and if they keep practicing and playing, they can easily top 5. Yeah, I think we'll still do pretty good into them. But I think it should be a good match as well. As long as Snowy doesn't feed too much.
Yes, I have heard he's a very heavy feeder.
Mm.
Not just in lane, but also no, I'm joking.
But for your own team, do you guys have anything you really want to work on this week? In this specific matchup?
I think mostly just not griefing early game, because I think like every week we have a lot to get better at since like I'm coming back to the game. Lex is playing a new role. Snowy, Desto's coming back. This is like Cody's first time on a good team. I think every time we're just looking to have like clean matches. Yeah, specifically early game.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great thing to focus on because as
Thanks, man.
early game is in every game.
Sometimes.
So, well, I mean, I don't think we got out of early game in the last set, so it could be a good thing to focus on.
Yeah, I think we're feeling really good going into this matchup, but definitely respect the opponents.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very, very good. I think that's all the questions that we have.
Good luck. I'll dip out because we're probably about to start.
Yeah, so I got to speed run through 5 guys 3 lanes. But thank you for joining the cast for this interview. And
no worries.
Games.
Thank you.
Next, we've got 5 guys 3 lanes. We kind of talked about them before, but if you weren't here, we have Dunkby in solo, Furin in jungle, Gorilla in mid, Derv support, and Flix ADC. They have changed their roles a little bit, so it was Flix in the jungle, Furin was ADC, but they swapped. We had Gorilla in support and Derv in the middle, but they've all swapped it now, so I kind of like how they have made their roster now. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I'm more of a fan of this. I believe Furin has a much more run it down. Well, not as much as Flix, not more so than Flix, but more experience running it down in jungle at a higher level than Flix, who does play a pretty good ADC.
Yep.
And the support, but we do have an interview here, so why don't we bring in Derv?
Hello, Dev.
Hello,
Hello. How are
Hello.
you today?
I'm good. I'm here representing on behalf of Five Guys, Three Lanes. Let's
Very
go.
Yeah,
nice.
right into the question. How do you feel about the new rosters? Like the new roles?
Our new roster.
Yeah, your new roles in the roster.
Yeah. We I did a lot of experimenting in scrims to find out what worked. A lot of rotating around, and we ended up landing on this one, feeling a lot more confident. We played like basically daily scrims for a while, and yeah, this one's the one that just worked out best for us. We feel.
Very, very good. I have another question. You were in the mid lane. Now you've gone to support. I've heard on your I've heard things that you are very, very good at roll calling and stuff. Have you seen an improvement with your calling out in these scrims in games?
Yeah, you roughly as a mid laner, I wasn't like that experienced in terms of shot calling, but I feel like in the support position, I really get a good chance to basically tell everyone what to do. I get
Yeah.
given the nickname the Monkey Tamer because I have to keep yelling at flicks and smash to stop them from making monkey noises.
Yeah,
So
they are very troll. Yeah.
getting
Some
them
called
focused
gorilla.
up is like the main problem.
Yeah. But it seems like you guys are with this current like switch of rosters and how you guys been playing. It's been really, really well, like you said. So yeah, it's very, very nice. And I think that's all the questions we have for you. But yeah, good luck on your games and all the best.
Thanks. Good talking to you guys.
You too.
I'm very interested to see how this new role goes. These new roles go. And having a gorilla, somebody named Gorilla, it's no wonder that he's nicknamed the Monkey Tamer.
Yeah, true.
That
That is
is
very, very funny.
absolutely
But
fantastic stuff from Five Guys, Three Lanes there.
yeah. But this is going to be a very close game, I feel like. Both teams are very, very strong with the new roster change from Five Guys, Three Lanes, and just Desto with their powerhouse of players. So I think it's going to be a really, really even game, and I can't wait to watch it. But we'll go into picks and bans shortly if they have started their game, which I don't know if they have, but we'll be waiting a little bit. But we can talk a little bit more and just wait for the picks and bans. Who do you think? Just looking at the players on each team, who do you think has the better edge? This is a hard, tricky question, but I'll give it to you.
I believe that. Thanks, buddy. Um,
They both have their
I,
goods and bads, but
I think Destinate will have a bit of an edge over Derv coming into this set specifically, as he
yeah,
has just moved over to the support role. And as we all know, support's not like, it's not something that you, unless you like really want to play it, you don't really get a ton of practice in it.
yeah,
Um, but he did say they've been scrimming all week, which is awesome to hear. That means that hopefully he's got an idea of some strong picks and bans to play,
yeah,
like to play against. Like hopefully a deepish god pool, not a god puddle. But on my mind, it would be Destinate, and just the shot calling and teamwork from Desto's 10-minute microwave miracles that will most likely be an issue for Five Guys Three Lanes to deal with.
yeah. And I was also going to say that Derv probably hasn't played much support or Guardians, I should say. So it's going to be a bit hard for him to get used to it. And Destiny has played a lot more Guardians and he's been a veteran. He's played the game for a very long time, played in like the OPL back in the day. But looks like we're going to
Absolutely.
go into picks and bans here.
So it's good. So let's see if they're coming in with a solid game plan here. Hopefully, we don't see a Freya Artemis picked again.
Yeah.
Anytime this season, maybe.
Yeah. Well, definitely not in mid, okay? But that's fine, but yeah, just not in the middle. But we see the Khepri ban out from Desto 10-minute microwave miracles. Very, very just like I said before in the other set, that Khepri is just a really, really good ban. The ultimate is just very annoying, and it's just a safety ban.
Yeah, and then the Hu Huang, that's obviously something that they don't like to play against, as it's not, not the genuine first ban you go for. Maybe they're trying to leave themselves open some more of the stronger picks like Freya and such as second pick.
Yes. Kyron being banned out. I have not seen Kyron being played that much, honestly, but well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he has gone up a little bit, has gone up in the rising, because Kyron is very, very strong with his CC immune not 60 minutes, it's a cleanse, I guess, with his one. So he's got a lot of popularity, and with trans being really, really good in this current meta of ADC, then yeah, it kind of brings him up a little bit.
Kyron also just brings an insane amount of pressure mid with the Bluestone build.
Oh yes.
And the sustain with his passive it is wild. It is, you can be just 1-2 and lose half your health as a backliner late game. So that'd be good to get out here. Nox, obviously, Destinate, a known mage player, loves it. So the Nox ban, that is absolutely a support ban here.
Yeah, Nox is very, very annoying, and I think we have seen Destinate play the Nox in the previous week, so it was very, very annoying. And Nox silence with the 2, just so annoying. I hate that god, to be honest.
And the Bellona coming out here. That's just pressure. Ban the Lancelot as well. So that's just 2 early pressure gods off the table. There's still quite a bit open here for both teams. There's the Freya. The Emoji's still up.
The Nemesis is still up.
The Nem is still up. The Cthulhu is still up.
Yeah, a lot of gods are open.
And the Nem being hovered, like you mentioned.
Yeah, Nem being hovered. Nem is very, very strong, I feel like. Just like current meta with all the HP buffs, Nemesis is just really, really good. And also with the build right now with the Executioner, like Nemesis just pops off. So very, very good first pick in my opinion.
Yeah, Nem kind of does go hard here, and it looks like Five Guys 3 lanes are really thinking about what they want to get in their first 2 slots here. It's looking, hovering at Horus, which is traditionally pretty good against the Nem with the 2 ways of removing the shield. Horus and Rajan.
We haven't seen a Rajan at all, I don't think.
Yeah, we haven't seen much Rajan or much Horus. It looks like Horus has only had 1 game played and obviously didn't win it.
Yeah. I
And
wonder
the
if that was support or solo.
I'm assuming the Horus will be support. It's a pretty good support. I would say it's, unless you're going the Golden Blade route, a much better support. But the Raijin into the Nemesis. How do you think that
Yeah, I
plays
don't know
out?
how that. Yeah, I don't know how that matchup really goes. I think Raijin is a bit scary. If Raijin has ult, I think it's fine with the Nemesis. But if Raijin ults down, the Nemesis can just go on the Raijin, and the shield with the Nemesis is really, really strong. And it's just Raijin's got to be careful without his ult. But Desto's 10-minute microwave miracles have locked in the Freya and hovering the Cabrakan. If they get the Cabrakan as well, I think that they have a really, really strong team. The Freya is just really, really good, and Cabrakan, just overall very, very popular in the solo lane or even in mid.
Yeah, absolutely. Can play in solo, can play in. We've seen it in mid. Don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know how it is there, but the Freya, obviously, the OCE special, it's been popping off lately. Just get to late game and it's kind of Freya go burr.
Yeah, hopefully it's a Freya ADC and not a Freya mid, because Freya mid I don't think will be very, very good. But Humbats getting locked in. Humbats is very, very weird here, I feel like.
Seeing a lot of play tonight. It's been in all 3 games so far.
Yeah.
So obviously they're valuing it more than us as the analysts are, which is they are the players, so they do know best. But the Humbats obviously does put pressure on the Cabrakan when he's just trying to go on your backline. And the Nemesis, obviously, it's not the greatest 1v1 matchup if you find each other in the middle of the jungle, but you're not trying to take 1v1 matchups anyway as Humbats.
Yeah, but I feel like I don't know if Humbats can actually 1v1 a Nemesis. Like,
No,
if
it's a
Humbats can be
terrible matchup.
over-
It's a terrible matchup for Humbats.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say. Yeah. It's kind of hard, but yeah, I guess the Humbat, like you said, the Humbats is probably just going to play around the team and just not try to go into any 1v1s. But we have the Emoji ban and the Jingwei ban. Jingwei, good ban, I reckon. We did see it in the previous set that it is very potent, so good ban there. We have the Geb as well. Geb, I guess it's just a safety ban. They just don't want them to play it to peel for the Freya, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. So just double banning Guardians, Five Guys 3 lanes in their final 2, and double banning Hunters, Desto's 10-minute microwave miracles. Just pretty obvious what they think. They're pretty confident that they know the Cabrakan's going solo, so they're just banning out the Guardians. Sorry. And
Yep.
they'll pick up the Shiva here, which is great pressure in solo lane early.
Yeah, Shiva, we have not seen played that much. What's it called this season? Kind of got fallen off a little bit, but getting picked up here is definitely going to be in the solo, I reckon. I think you are correct about that. And against the Kabrakan, kind of good. It has the knock up, has the pull, and pretty safe with the ult.
Can absolutely just dance away from the Kabrakan tremors. The Tsukiyomi is great pressure in the jungle. I love that to. Oh wait, no, wait a second. That might be.
Might be
It might be
solo.
Tsukiyomi. It might be Tsukiyomi mid.
Wait, are you sure?
So okay, I'm just gonna guess here. I could be totally wrong. I'm going Nem jungle, Freya ADC, Kabrakan support, Tsukiyomi mid, Sun Wukong solo. Is my.
I think you have to be correct there because Suki Wukong picked up. We don't know who's going mid here, but it probably, yeah, this is a very, very interesting.
It's either
team
Kabrakan or
as a team
Suki,
draw.
surely, right?
Yeah, surely. But
Surely.
I think it's gonna, yeah, it probably might be Wukong solo and Suki mid. And this is a really weird draft. I actually don't know what's going on here.
Seen the
But,
Suki mid before. It's a Betty Q special from back at Worlds.
yeah, true.
So, and the Oleron picked up. That is pretty big here against the Nemesis, Tsukiyomi, Kabrakan, as those three will have issues in the actual ult of Oleron itself. Obviously, Tsukiyomi does have a CP ult, but his 2 is so delayed, it is just so simple to walk out of. You definitely can't fight in that.
Yeah, but kind of worried because they have the Freya and Wukong, and they can just ult out of Oleron ult. But hopefully, this Oleron can just focus on the Kabrakan and Nemesis and be able to just farm them with the Oleron ult.
How do you feel about the synergy?
Risky. The synergy on 5 guys 3 lanes with the Humbat's ult and the Oleron ult.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah, I think it could be really, really good. It depends. I think if the Humbas gets the base pop and then Oleron ult afterwards, it would be massive. But I don't think you really want to get the Humbats and Oleron ult off at the same time because they can just bait it and walk away. So you gotta be careful about that.
Absolutely should be a staggered use in the team fight, and that'll just go to show how well they've been scrimming to see their ability usage. I'm very excited for this matchup personally, as both these teams seem to have a lot they want to prove.
Yes, indeed. Okay, I got a question for you. Who do you think has the better draft here?
Better draft? I would have to say Desto's 10-minute microwave miracles.
Oh, you like the spicy the spicy team draft they have.
I absolutely do. I believe if it is Tsukiyomi in mid, I believe it's gonna throw a massive wrench onto this Raijin because Tsukiyomi into Raijin is easy peasy.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be really interesting because yes. Yeah.
That's fine. I think I gotta agree with you also. I just love this spicy pick from Desto. Like the I can't even speak. Tsukiyomi, Kabrak, and Freya, they have the Nemesis as well. Like both those 4 gods, I feel like are just amazing. The Wukong is a bit of just a comfort pick, I think, or just like a solo. Like I can do whatever I want. 5 guys 3 lanes kind of have something going, but it's a little bit awkward to see how they're going to synergize together. But yeah, I guess we'll take it over to the casters, which is going to be Dicer and Distinct Taste. Take it away, boys.
Me again.
Hi, I'm me.
Yes.
I'm Diceheart.
Welcome, Dice.
Thank you very much. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to set number 2 tonight for our Week 2, Season 2. A lot of 2s going on. But we have Desto's 10-minute microwave miracles versus 5 guys 3 lanes. And I'm very, very excited to watch this set. I think that it's going to be really, really good. These 2 teams pretty evenly matched, knowing that they've been scrimming each other a little bit, and yeah, having seen them kind of play together a fair bit, I think this is going to be a really, really good set.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully, 5 guys 3 lanes can show that their role changes will be paying dividends for them. And Desto just want to continue to improve.
Yeah, absolutely.
As Vintage mentioned, and it does look like it is
Look, give me half a second to get this right, because this is a mess of a thing.
Yeah, this is very
It
interesting.
is the Kraken support.
It is the Kabrakan support, and it
Tsukiyomi
will be
mid.
mid as the analyst did call.
Well, one of them, I swear, did.
Well, yeah, absolutely. So, what do you think between the matchup between the Tsukiyomi and the Raijin? Because obviously that's the bread and butter here.
It sure is. Is the Tsukiyomi getting ranked? He's not. He's starting T2 Bauble. That's interesting.
My 60% cooldown Tsukiyomi might go hard.
I cannot wait to see that. I mean, there's every chance he's just getting it for like the extra bit of power on it and like the early CDR. Like it is a really good T2 item. Sorry.
Definitely up there.
But I mean, 60% Tsukiyomi would be insane. Imagine that that often. I think.
Yeah, and he's won.
Yeah, 100%. I think maybe like Tsukiyomi Nemesis have a pretty good matchup into the Raijin early. Like Raijin's early clear is decent once he hits level 3. But, I mean, Tsukiyomi should just out-pressure him pretty consistently, so they could get an early first blood in that mid lane. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Well, absolutely. Gorilla's got to be very, very careful here because the kill pressure in mid is going to be there absolutely all game.
Absolutely.
Just standard starts here. Looks like red to speed for Desto's 500 microwave miracles,
Yep.
and then speed to red for the other two. So it'll be interesting. They'll have first wave control, 5 guys 3 lane.
Would you look at that? Another team who are getting Hog in support. Interesting. What do you think of that at the moment, Distinct?
I think Hog is important, especially if you're a Freya Kabrakan. You definitely
Yes.
want to be getting to there a little bit earlier than the opposite team.
Absolutely. Freya's wave clear is not ideal.
No, it's not great, and Kabrakan's is kind of wild. So,
Yeah.
but only when he can get there to tremble first, which it doesn't look like he got.
No, interestingly enough. Oh, there is a blink in there and a nice stun onto Flix as well. The Whoop is there to get him up into the air. Not a lot of DPS coming out, though, while all of that was used. So maybe just trying to get pressure onto this next wave. But now a lot of actives down and a stun coming out from Derv as well. Snowy taken down to about a quarter health. Destiny also getting quite low, just trying to peel for his ADC.
Rolling.
Yikes.
Just rolling.
Yikes. And now Snowy's being knocked up. He uses the beast, but he does fall first blood to Divinity. And now Desto potentially under threat as well. If Derv can get the stun and he does lock it down, Flix has the auto attacks there as well. Might just fall. A nice double stun from Destiny, but beads used from Flix to try to catch him out here. And Destiny 1 health is going to fall to Flix as well. 2 kills for the duo lane of 5 guys 3 lanes. Huge.
And that was just all Derv. That was just Derv setting that up. Flix just literally was like, "Thank you, Daddy."
Yeah, literally. I didn't hear you say. Oh wait, no, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it was just the Horus. Like he's got such good protection shred on that Horus.
The lockdown.
Yeah,
I
the lockdown is
believe-
insane.
And the Freya did use beads there as well, so there's a ton of kill potential over and left now.
Absolutely, that's insane. And like, yeah, absolutely right. Once Flix has that ultimate ability as well, if Freya doesn't have it, and a blink in from Derv as well, the stun is off there off the back. He might just be able to get this solo clue. Flix isn't even close to following up on
Nice
it.
whoop. Nice, that's a lovely whoop. That whoop gets him out. I believe he would have died there.
Oh, he absolutely was going to die there. This Horus early game is ridiculous.
Absolutely.
My
But
lord.
it's looking like that they've got some pressure in mid here as well. Able to confirm the right camps. I didn't see who got the left camp.
Oh, Derv's going in again. He's gotten the knock up off, and there's the stun. Snowy once again down incredibly low health. The stun comes out to keep him alive there from Desto. Now trying to body block the autos from Flix. Again, barely getting out is Snowy on this Freya.
This is big. This is a giant lane. This is like
Honestly, as well, this is where you want the Freya. If you're playing against a Freya, you want to do this to her. Just don't let her play the game.
absolutely, and it's not like the Freya will outscale this Oleron super hard like.
You good?
Gonna get a big invade coming there. I believe that 5 guys 3 lanes do get that.
Looks like they did manage. No, Microwave managed to secure their own blue buff.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yes, yeah, purple buff. Sorry,
Unfortunate.
my apologies.
It's alright.
Not a lot going on in solo lane at the moment. I think to be expected between these two, Wukong and Shiva. Not particularly exciting. Both of them very, very healthy gods, and both of their ultimates are going to keep them, pretty survivable. I think in lane.
Yeah, but they're gonna be looking to rotate. I think early and often here, especially Wukong. You want to be dunking into mid as much as you can to put pressure
You'd think
on
that
there.
Shiva would be dunking in. I'm sorry, I'm a big person.
Yeah, absolutely. Dunk me, daddy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Work.
Both of those warriors have fantastic, I think, rotational ability and provide a lot into the team fights once they do get there. I think especially with the Wukong going the build that he is towards that soul leader, pretty standard for a Wukong, but it provides him a lot into that mid to late game team fight.
Five guys, 3 lanes, mid and jungle here, ticking over to 5 before microwaves. So that's a pretty good indication for them that they're farming up very well.
We do see that benefit now of Furin being level 5, going to jump onto Nemesis there, not getting a lot of value, but does keep him away from his own back camps as the rest of Five Guys 3 lanes grouping in this mid and just poking out a little bit, trying to secure themselves, I guess, that pressure to get these mid camps off cooldown.
Yeah, absolutely. This is fantastic grouping from Five Guys 3 lanes here. That 3v, that 3 of the Raijin Horus Monkey
Terrifying.
is absolutely scary to play against if you don't have a CC in ult.
Yeah, absolutely. As soon as your beads are down as well, like, you're just gone. They've got so much lockdown on there, so many CCs, and then the damage that's going to come out as well. The Horus is going to prot trade you. You're just not going to last very long.
They're splitting all these camps perfectly. Lovely. It looks like
Vintage maybe out of position though. There's the Humbat's ult. Beads are forced out and the Tsukuyomi ult comes down as well. Raijin doing as much DPS as possible, but not quite enough. Destinate was there to zone out too, but Vintage uses the beads, uses the ult, barely gets out with his life.
That's so big for Five Guys 3 lanes there. It was very well played, putting pressure onto him underneath the tower. The Raijin ult coming out nearly actually picked him up.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
In a couple of levels, even when he ults out, he might still just die there.
Yeah, I would be very, very scared if I'm this Tsukuyomi. You don't have a lot of movement on that god. You don't have a dash or a jump or anything. So as soon as those ultimates are back up, the Five Guys are going to look for him again, 100% of the time.
And he's going in straight into a trance here on the Tsukuyomi, which I like to scale a little bit heavily. Do you think they'd want a little bit more pressure in mid here with the Tsukuyomi pick?
Yep.
Especially into the Raijin, which I don't know. Raijin is very good early.
Yeah, slow playing this Tsukuyomi. I mean, the Raijin is good early, but you expect to get pressure off of an assassin pick, especially going to that T2 bauble and trying to get the damage off.
Okay, we'll see how he goes. Maybe he'll just scale.
Maybe he will just scale. Tsukuyomi has been known to do that from time to time.
Who got the totem just then? I want to know who's getting totem control.
That's a great question.
Between these two.
Five Guys did.
Oh, that's well played there by Dunk.
Oh, nice little rotation coming out from here from Unga as well. Young Legs has already been forced up into the ultimate. Might be able to survive this one. Unga uses that Nemesis ultimate, knocking down Dunk, and another kill, or a kill, first kill, finally, for Microwave, locking down Dunk there in the solo lane.
That's big that it's on the Nemesis. Now this Nem might be able to potentially
A 1v1 coming out here. Snowy uses that Valkyrie's discretion to try to lock down Flix, but a nice ultimate coming down from Derv. He does manage to dash into this tower as well, but good whoop to keep Snowy alive there as well. And now Derv under pressure from the tower and from Snowy. Well played by Snowy there.
Crazy whoops by Snowy. On point. On point tonight, absolutely.
Is here around this corner. Furin though, aware of the rotation from the Cabrakan, going to be able to zone him out from picking up the kill onto Flix. Nicely played there. Overall by Microwave Miracles, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. The Freya is just holding on. It's obviously been put hard behind. It's starting with a Bancross, which is interesting. Obviously not a ring.
Yeah. Have you had a chance to test the Bancross glyphs yet?
The glyph is fantastic. I'm not sure about starting it. I feel like the Ring of Fakate is still better early. For just laning purposes.
Yeah, I do love Ring. And it does scare me a little bit having an early Bancross. Desto, though, in a good position to go onto Derv here. Does manage to get the beads directly out of Gorilla there, but is going to be counter-engaged on by Derv. Desto falling incredibly low there, but does manage to get the tremors up. Derv, though, stuck between these walls, and Vintage Cow using that ultimate should be able to knock Derv down here as Gorilla dashes out, but another kill from Microwave puts them back onto the board and only 700 gold down now.
Now we're seeing the value of the
oh, nice Fumbat's ults.
Being able to follow the Raijin after he ults over that wall. Sorry, jumps over that wall is pretty big to secure that kill.
Very helpful to be able to have, and yeah, the value of this Cabrakan definitely shining through now. And yeah, I have to agree. The Tsukuyomi now finally being able to pop off. I think once he's got that trans stacked up as well, he's just going to be an absolute monster to deal with.
Absolutely. Is this a pause?
It is indeed a pause. Yes. Not
so
great.
Coming into it, it's looking. We'll just go over the levels quickly. We've got a bit of a level lead here in ADC.
We do.
One level, and can we get gold up as well? Is that possible?
We can do this, or we can do.
Yeah, net worth. Yeah.
It's one of them. There it is.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Yeah. So if we look there, the Oleron's actually 800 ahead of this Freya. In ADC, so that's a tough matchup to fight into.
Yeah, I mean, kind of what you're expecting out of that early game from what happened, but if you're Five Guys 3 lanes, you need to keep that lead there. You need to keep that Freya down and get this Oleron ahead. And it's the same thing vice versa as well. Like, you know, if Oleron gets spiral out of control and gets to live in this lane for free, as we see Younglegs being aggressed on his own on the blue buff here. But
Nice
Furin
ult coming out
takes
of
that
Furin.
ultimate. Younglegs drops down. Dunk has to use his own ultimate. There's a horror assault in there now as well. Durf just off the mark with that stun. Younglegs manages to knock up to get himself out of that one. There is a Raijin around this corner, but Five Guys probably a little bit late to this rotation to defend their own blue buff.
Yeah, good aggression there by Unga, just dropping the ult instantly onto the bats.
If
to
that
force
horror
them out.
assault had just been a little bit closer to the blue buff pit, I think that it would have been a completely different fight though. Would have been able to get that stun off and really turn it around.
Would have liked to see Gorilla get there maybe a smidge earlier.
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely.
But that's okay, that happens. And
Now-
it's looking. Oh, it's
yeah.
tight.
Oh
It's
yeah,
tight.
I was
We're
about to
milking.
say
We're
let's
milking.
take bets. Who is going to get this? And it is going to go to Five Guys. Derv though did get stunned
Five
out.
Guys get it. The absolute.
It was
play by
close.
Derv, the new support.
He needed it. He needed it bad. He was down bad for the obelisk, and you can't blame him. Gus
No,
now hits the
absolutely
map
not.
in the solo lane, and you hope though that Five Guys are going to use this to their advantage. They've got the Hunbarts, they've got the Raijin, they've got a Trebuchet now. If they push this, they should be able to go straight to Gold Fury and lock it down early.
Yeah, they absolutely. The Trebuchet being in solo here is giant for them with the Oleron leads because they can. Looks. Gotta be careful here though. I don't know. I can't see any wards for
Nada.
flicks
Nada.
on that side of on the map. So
Desto is in behind Gorilla and Derv, and already some poke coming down, but a nice stun there from Derv is going to keep Desto from being able to engage on Gorilla, who is able to walk out of that one.
yeah, I'd love to see 5 Guys 3 lanes just ward up this this Gold Fury side and maybe set up for a fight there with the Oleron.
They are three-man grouped into this red buff pit at the moment, but maybe not realizing that Furin around this corner. Derv gets a nice stun off to prevent Vintage, and there's a nice Oleron there. Oh, but not quite enough. Furin does get the ultimate down, forces Unga to use his beads there. Horror Soul is coming down as well and lands directly on top of Unga Instinct, but no follow-up there, no stun available for Derv, and chasing under this tower a bit risky right now as the rest of Microwave Miracles rotate back into the mid lane. No harm, no foul, I guess.
Yeah, they just kind of let the Brack and Tsukiyomi walk out through
Yeah,
left mids.
just let them go.
Yeah, and chase the Nemesis. It was interesting. It was a good Oleron ult to confirm, like to make
get
sure that
red.
they won the fight on red. But now they can't use it for Gold Fury, so that's
Correct,
a
yeah.
massive net win for Microwave.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the part of the game right here that Five Guys 3 lanes really needed to... Desto? Are you alright, bud? Manages to get that blink off and the stun down onto Gorilla as well. Beads were used by Gorilla there and will get stunned out by Vintage. Manages to get over the wall, but not for long. There is a Tsukiyomi ult chasing him, and down falls Gorilla. Tsukiyomi credited with that kill. Vintage Cow, nicely played, and still
The
looking to
Tsukiyomi
chase down
just doing
Derv.
it again, following him over walls with his ult.
Absolutely. Tsukiyomi probably... Oh, and a stun coming out into Derv as well. Trapped in the tremors and body blocked by the cow. Derv barely gets over that wall to Furin. Nice positioning from the jungler there to get his support out of that position.
And that's just the great pick from Derv.
Younglegs?
Great stuff happening, Horace.
What are you doing, bud? You alright? Dash out from Derv. Youngleg still chasing under this tower. Forces a blink out of Derv. He was that scared under his T2 tower of the pressure from that Sun Wukong. That's terrifying.
They're kind of running it down here a little bit, Microwave, just trying to put as much pressure onto mid as they can, and it seems to be working. I think they understand that they need to keep putting this Raijin behind.
Absolutely. They've managed to force out so much from Five Guys 3 lanes there who had the advantage. They had the Trebuchet. They had all of the ultimates that they needed to do the Gold Fury, and now none of that really available. Trebuchet still hasn't been pushed. Gold Fury not pressured, and the game's basically back to an even state again.
Yeah, with Microwave up like 100 gold or so, but the Trebuchet is still there, so they still do have that play when they want it. I wonder if they're holding it for maybe second relic slots for most of them.
Potentially, they could be getting into a good position. Maybe waiting for this Oleron to get a little bit closer to a power spike. Now has that Typhons online, so potentially waiting for him to be able to do enough DPS to Gold Fury for it to be worth it, I suppose. As we
And they're
see,
both ACs going double lifesteal here.
yeah,
So obviously anti-heal is going to be needed.
absolutely. And into a Freya and an Oleron, I'd hope that you would see the anti-heal regardless. It's kind of necessary into both of those gods. Younglegs fighting to steal that, and he does manage to lock down that blue buff invade, while the rest of the Microwave Miraculers group around this Gold Fury, potentially looking for Flicks here, but Flick's so safe under that tower playing Oleron, it's a hard dive for them to engage on.
Yeah, it absolutely is, especially if they don't have beads up.
Look at Flix, he's just standing under that tower. He knows that this is happening. He knows that there's no reason at all to walk out and be the, be the ego player and try to take on 3 people.
They have some good ward coverage, microwaves. Yeah.
This is interesting. They'll blink out onto Flix from Destiny. Manages to get the stun. Beads were forced, and Furin uses the ultimate as well as the Oleron ult, but Flix now forced down low. Valkyrie's discretion is going to secure that kill out of Snowy, and the rest of Microwave are going to try and chase down a few more kills. They have Derv pincered here, and a nice move's going to keep him trapped in this one. Up into the Horizon. Does he go, but low health, will he fall? And the rest of the Microwave boys are chasing this one down. Jump out from Fury to try to get himself out of position on that one. And Dunk manages to zone out the rest of the Microwaves. But now, heading towards the Gold Fury, are these boys potentially? Or into the mid lane for some reason, I guess?
I think pressuring, getting the invades off on the purple there, making sure they secure their own farm.
Yep.
It is a good call, but I mean, it's kind of a free gold. Yeah, here we go. It looks like they're walking over to Gold Fury now.
At least picking up the Oracles, but with that Nemesis backing, I don't see them picking up this Gold
No.
Fury. And we
No,
do
it
see 5 guys are grouped closer to this Pyromancer as well. They might look to sneak this one down. Humbart's in the area too.
They
Could be
do.
interesting.
Their team is interesting because they are going to need their Nem for major objective burn.
Yeah,
Late
100%.
game, because obviously the Tsukuyomi Frey are not known for their super awesome objective burn.
I mean, the good thing is though that with the Nemesis there, they burn through objectives decently fast as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But the Nem is their burn.
Yeah, 100%. Other than Freya, kind of chunks objectives
Yeah.
sometimes, but you have to get that Freya to the super late game for it to be relevant. So we'll have to see how that pans out as another blue buff invade successful from Young Legs, and maybe getting out of this one. Being chased down by Furin, does manage to get up into the ultimate on that cloud, but meanwhile, Furin forced to use his own ultimate to protect him there, and is he going to knock down Young Legs? They're a nice play. Dunk Me Daddy credited with that kill, but Unga manages to pick up Furin himself, and now being chased down by 2. Dunk Me Daddy has that dance, and is going to pick up a double kill there. Meanwhile, though, Desto trying to lock down Flix there. The stun is down, and Snowy going to be able to pick up this kill inside of the Tremors, hopefully. Well, how is he living that long? Jesus, Desto does pick up the kill. But right now, Vintage Cow, he did just use his ultimate, and beads are down as well. There are 3 men chasing him, and is going to be able to get the stun off, but not before getting locked down by Gorilla. And, I mean, that was happening everywhere, but I guess
So
5 guys
3
got
for
the...
2?
Yeah.
I think it's a 3 for 2 for solo, jungle, mid on microwave, and ADC solo.
Yeah, I guess you're happy with that if you're Microwave. Yeah, you lost 1 more member, but you're ahead now, and your Freya's in a good position. Like, she got to push a wave under tower. You're getting this Oleron further behind, and like Legs doesn't care if he dies. He's stolen so many blue buffs. He might not be ahead at the moment, but he doesn't care if he dies.
Well, he is the highest net worth, so he's not really stressing.
No, not at all.
Legs here, and killing that Oleron is giant for us. It's like a bit of a support fight over here in mid left.
Furin, though, is around looking for this Freya at the moment. Not going to be able to get anything, though. Snowy spots that one out with the ward. Furin does use the blink, though. Whoop off the mark, but B's used anyway. Derv in the area uses that ultimate, but the blink and the knock-up come out as Snowy gets up into the Valkyrie's discretion, and behind them, Furin uses that ultimate, but Desto is in the area, and now Snowy chunking through Derv's health bar, just barely able to get out of that tower, but a nice Bracken ult is going to lock Derv inside of that area, but Young Legs here now as well, a whoop onto Flix, but a nice ult coming out from the Oleron too, might just keep his team alive during this one, but Derv potentially out of position. Young Legs diving deep as well. Derv manages to dash out and hopefully able to help out Flix during this one, but Young Legs still diving deep, looking for DPS. No kills on the board after that one, but 4 members of Microwave are here near this Gold Fury and likely to pick it up.
Yeah, especially with Dunk still over securing his own blue. Looks like they're just going to go straight onto it. The Oleron has no beads or ult.
I mean, this is a free Gold Fury. Yeah, there's a Horus in
Absolutely
the area,
goal
but
already.
what's he going to do? Burn down is the goal. Microwave, pick up the first objective of this game.
That's just good play. That was a fantastic ult coming out there from Destiny, catching 2 of them
Yep.
as they were trying to like scale down lane, scuttle down lane.
And I mean, they just committed, like 5 guys committed so much to try to kill that Freya, but she's a Freya. Like, she's got Valkyrie's discretion, can get under the tower. The rest of her team had to rotate in that time, and they did. And, Humbart's used Blink, Horus ult was used, the Blink was used out of Horus as well. It was a ridiculous amount to commit to a Freya, and of course the team fight's not going to go your way if you dive that hard, and the rest of the team are going to get there.
Absolutely. You got to if you're diving that hard, you got to make sure you confirm that kill.
Absolutely.
Freya.
I don't know why we're watching solo lane. Not a lot's going to happen here at this point in the
I'm
game.
here for a little bit of slap
A little bit of a slap boxing.
It's always fun. Yeah,
You
it's
love to
always
see
fun.
it.
Get those stats up.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
get some mitigation, get some damage numbers, and Vintage just roaming. He's on par. Bit of a gold lead.
Yeah, I mean, you do love to see that. Derv now way out of position, surrounded by 3 members, managed to get that dash shot, but he can't get the other one now. There's Gorilla there, but Tsukiyomi ult is going to come down. Horace in the air, looking to try to peel out for his team. Rajan ult was used there as well. Young Legs up on the cloud, might be able to survive for a little bit longer, but, I mean, yeah, the 5 guys, 3 lanes guys are trapped on the T1 tower right now after so much commitment from Microwave.
It's just going to be a free Pyromancer here if Microwave decide they want it.
Could be a bit risky coming out right now. No ADCs in the area as they're currently slapping each other in the face at the moment. Oh, I don't know where to look. Flix uses that ultimate, but Snowy is going to get the Valkyrie's discretion off, likely going to pick up Flix there. In the meantime, the rest of this fight going on, and 5 guys are losing it hard. Tremors are down. Dunk Me Daddy is getting a huge bit of healing off out of this Shiva, and I mean, Microwave at half health, but a nice stun coming out, forcing Gorilla to use those beads there. Flix actually won that 1v1. I kind of wish we watched it.
Oh my lord. Oh,
he was
Flix,
so
you're
low.
Nuts. You're nuts, Flix.
Tsukiyomi barely managing to pull out, using that stun to get himself a little bit of extra space. Wow, we should have stayed on for the 1v1. Nobody died over here, and Flix got the kill. I'm so mad.
That was just well played there by the 5 guys 3 lanes, just pulling back before they could get fully.
Desto does get that stun off onto Gorilla, but there's no follow-up here. Vintage Cow unable to get the DPS off after that nice stun.
And Derv is absolutely putting on a masterclass on this Horace. He has been everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been positioning really well. He's been there to... Oh, Onga potentially out of position here. 4 members of 5 guys. Weird thing to say. Have picked up this Pyromancer now and dropped it immediately. Actually, potentially catching out the rotations coming out from Microwave, and instead opting to pick up these mid camps and potentially pressure mid.
It's looking like a big grouping coming here from 5 guys 3 lanes. They really want this Pyromancer.
There are literally 5 guys in one place right now as this Pyro has been picked up.
5 giant pit.
Yeah.
Wild.
Rename yourselves now. Pyromancer picked up by 5 guys, and I mean that was free. They had 5 people there. They picked up the Pyro. Nothing lost.
Nothing lost. Just not even going to lose a wave because of the solo kill.
Yep.
From
Flix
there onto. Yeah.
Not sure what happened there still, but it must have been fantastic.
We will get the replay of that later to watch that.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I imagine that that's probably going to be one of our highlights this week.
Oh, for sure.
So now pretty even map state still. 5 guys up a little bit, only about 500 gold though. That's a huge dip on that gold differential though. After picking up that Pyromancer and obviously Flix's 1v1 there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just a really great grouping from 5 guys 3 lanes. I wonder who their shot caller is to make that. Well, I think we know it's Derv.
Yeah, I'd have to assume.
Yeah.
Derv, maybe Furin.
Just showing the new look is looking good for the boys.
Really good.
20 minutes in and just 300 gold ahead.
This tower now being committed to, but Derv has Emperor's Armor, which is really keeping those minions at bay there, and a TP coming out as well. This Shiva going to be here to defend, and there's a Trebuchet pushing him right as well to keep that tower nice and healthy on the right side, so that the Shiva can be here. And a Trebuchet in mid as well.
Yeah, do you feel like they should have pushed this right Trebuchet a little bit earlier?
Yeah, significantly. But I guess you have 2 here now, so you could do something with it. But grouping instead towards the
Yeah, they should have held those trebuchets for objectives.
Because now this one's dead, and now this one's dead, and now this is happening.
And
I guess they're looking for Snowy here, but again, trying to commit to this Freya right now is probably not a great idea. Manages to get the whoop off, and Valkyrie's discretion should be available to get him out of this one. Is up in the air, and Derv, the only person chasing down right now. Beads were used by Snowy, though, and it's such a big use of your trebuchets, though, for nothing. Like, the Gold Fury's still not even blinking yet.
That's the only issue here. If they maybe push those trebuchets
Desto now being committed to and Dunk in the area to be able to get some damage off. Whoop off the mark there. 5 guys, 3 lanes now in a very, very aggressive position around this Gold Fury. If they have the Oloron ult, which they do, they might just be able to lock this one down early, but I don't know if they see Ungu Instinct around this corner. Horace is up in the air at the moment, potentially looking to provide some shield for his team, but instead pulls them all the way back and lands straight on Snowy. No Valkyrie's discretion available, and Flix uses the ultimate as well to try to get Vintage Cow down low. Gorilla's down deep inside of the team as well right now, and Flix picks up the double kill. Vintage Cow does fall. Destinate still in the area, but should be locked down pretty quickly from the CC out of Dunk. Gorilla, though, falls. A triple kill coming out there while Young Legs gets the counter kill. Backline though, Unga Instinct locks down Furin, but this fight far and away won by 5 guys 3 lanes out of a fantastic horror assault from Derv.
What a horror assault from Derv. That was a great play, but really well done by Legs and Unga there to pick up 2 in the back line.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
To not make it a total wash for
And
Microwave there. And now Legs looks like he's going to be able to just put some pressure onto his
I mean,
rival
you hate yourself if he manages to steal this.
Oh, this is...
Okay, Jingbang off the mark.
Okay,
Too early.
Yeah, alright, yeah, too early.
Cool
That's
boy.
Okay, it was well done by Legs. He gave himself a chance, obviously not in any danger here. He is one tanky lad.
Sorry, I read chat and I really shouldn't have read chat.
Yeah, you gotta quit. Hey, go find me to make Dice quit smoking.
I just want to talk about that horror assault though.
Oh, it was so hot.
I didn't know what he was doing. I very much doubt that the Microwave boys did. Like, we have the whole position on this whole map and could have seen what he was doing, but still, I didn't know what he was doing. And it was the choice to go straight into that Freya. Like, you're in that Gold Fury pit regardless, which means half of your team are going to be pulled along with you anyway, and they just dove so deep and got so much damage onto a Freya with no beads, no ultimate, instantly dead.
Well, it shows why I'm a caster and not a player, because I thought that them diving that Freya into that tier 2 was useless. Turns out it's exactly...
It's a fantastic play, apparently.
Yeah, exactly.
Humbert's ult
Great
did
stuff.
come out there to try to zone away the Microwavers from this Scorpion, but now no Humbert's ult available. Fear No Evil will not be up for this Pyromancer, I don't think. And in fact, Fire Giant being aggressed on at the moment. It looks like Dunk tanked that one for a second. Young Legs forced to go up onto that cloud, but might not have a way out of this one as he's surrounded quite aggressively by 5 guys. The rest of the Microwaves are here, and Derv with a blink perfectly as Young Legs lands though. A nice Bracken ult to try to zone out the rest of the 5 guys. Team, Young Legs still falling incredibly low. There was a Tsukiyomi ult there, but a huge ultimate from that Oloron Gorilla though in the backline is going to fall. Snowy credited with 1 kill, Unga the other one. Snowy still low though, has to use that Aegis and Valkyrie's discretion. Now down, Dunk Me Daddy going for the deep dive, but in the backline, Dunk does pick up Snowy. Destiny in a bit of a bad position right now. Tremors are down and just trying to zone and DPS down. Unga Instinct barely living that one, and Dunk is going to pick up the double kill onto Unga there, but a TP coming out from Young Legs as well, trying to do his best to zone out the rest of the 5 guys, and that was a bit of a shit show. I'm going to be honest. What just happened?
I feel like they maybe chased that the Sun Wukong a little bit too far past into the... They were able to pick up, obviously, the Freya.
Oh, Young Legs
tier
blinks
1.
in, looking for Flix, gets the stun down as well, but Derv is here now, gets the knock up off onto Young Legs, now forced up into the cloud once more, and this is how the last fight started. Young Legs up in the cloud.
But this time he doesn't have any of his team to back him up here, so it's going to be a lot harder for him to contest this Pyromancer if they just decide to go on him now.
And now
which
this
they
Pyromancer
absolutely
has
should.
been picked up. Young Legs and Desto are there, but Desto might not have the DPS to do anything about this walking in, and the Pyromancer secured another fantastic zoning, another bit of fantastic zoning from Derv and Dunk there, just so that Flix could pick up that Pyromancer, and another one goes away of 5 guys, 3 lanes.
Yeah, 5 guys, 3 lanes. Looking real tight in this game. Look at this new roster change. I'm loving it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think putting Flix back into ADC, a fantastic decision. He really shines there. Furin's a great jungler. I can guarantee that if he's not shotcalling, he's at least putting in his fair share of words. And Derv looks so good in support right now.
Oh, on this Horus, he is. Yeah, absolutely. He's putting on a show on the chicken.
Absolutely on the chicken. And even in that last play as well, like, he managed to blink and stun perfectly as Legs was coming out of that ult, so that immediately he was stunned. It was a fantastic play.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're grouping up here. It looks like they want to... Grouping up as 3 near Fire Giant. Flix has just decided that he's completely done getting farm, and
Yeah,
he's just ready to fight.
He's given it to his mid laner instead. This Rajan over
Yeah.
here picking up the Joy lane farm, but
He's like, oh, you're having a rough time in your lane?
I got
Don't
you,
worry
bud.
about it. I got it.
no worries. I won the 1v1. I've got you.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's big mental coming out from Flix winning that 1v1.
Absolutely, he really needed that. Like, it was at the perfect time. He was already very low, and I think that probably hurt Snowy's mental a little bit as well. More than buffed Flix's. Like, if you now know that you can't take that 1v1, you're not even going to try to.
Yeah, absolutely. But we don't know how close it was, so anyway.
No, we don't.
But
I wish we did.
Flix being 6-2 and 3, and the Shiva being 4-1 and
comes
5.
out.
Some show outs. Oh, nice move.
Now, 5 guys. Oh, a blink in from Destinate, and the rest of the team are coming in as well. But a nice knock up, and there's Yellow or not. Exactly what you're looking for. Flix already has knocked down Unga Instinct, and Desto not far behind. Vintage Cow now deep in the middle, and a huge Horizon gets a massive shield down for the rest of the 5 guys. Furin locked down another one. Vintage Cow does fall. Now Snowy being chased down. Valkyrie's discretion is down, but a huge woo manages to get him out of a little bit of damage, but not enough. Snowy does fall. Furin barely alive. A double kill for Gorilla, and it won't be too much longer before Flix picks up Young Legs, and they go straight to this Fire Giant. Clean
That is-
D aside.
Oh my lord, that was clean. mean. I'm not sure Microwave was ready for the Destinate blink in there.
Nope.
May have been a little bit early, but they were able to give such a... Flicks got so much value out of that Oleron ult.
Here's the thing. That was insane. 5 guys, 3 lanes, knew where they needed to fight. They've got Oleron ult. They fought right here in that corridor, and that's where you want to fight.
Yeah.
Microwave played right into it.
We're absolutely seeing the no answers for the Oleron here. Like, obviously we've got two CC immune ults on Microwave here, and they're having such a rough time trying to even do anything to Flicks at this point.
Absolutely.
Like, Flicks just 29k player damage, you know, with the healing that he's pumping out as well onto himself. He's very tough to take down right now.
100%. I think that if you're Microwave there, you really need to try to bait out that Oleron ult before you try and take that fight. If that ultimate's down, you've got the perfect free fight for yourselves there, but instead they, you know, double blinked into it, and the Oleron ulted, and obviously that fight's going to be over. You just lost your support and your jungler.
Yeah, absolutely. You really want to see the Tsukiyomi and the Sun Wukong here are pretty much the only two capable of sticking on this Oleron when he ults.
Yeah, without a doubt. Those two absolutely need to be in there, dealing with that Oleron. And you know, you also need to get that split fight off as well. You can't let that, you know, let your team all be inside of Oleron ult and the rest of his team be able to follow up on it either.
Yeah. And it's looking like the player damage, player numbers here, Gorilla on the Rajin hasn't, like, you know, he's 3rd lowest, but he's getting dived a lot, I feel, in these fights. And just by living,
I think
he's making a huge impact.
You're absolutely right. Like, the amount of times he's walked out on 1 HP because they've just been hard diving him, and then an Oleron ult comes out to clean up the rest of the fight is insane.
Yeah, it's very important to understand, and it's looking like this team is knowing when the certain members disengage. That's great to see.
Yeah, absolutely. I think now, though, like, they've wasted a lot of their Fire Giant time. It's not too much longer before it runs out. They did manage to pick up that mid Phoenix, but they really need to push for maybe some of these T2s as well, as we see a massive grouping from Microwave onto the left side of the map, potentially trying to catch out a Dunk there, but that means this T2 is going to go down for free for 5 guys, 3 lanes.
And Doug pushing up, what are we calling Trebuchet now?
Gargantua and Gus, I believe, were what the last call was.
Gargantua and
Gus
Gus
called it.
slowly rolling down the solo lane side.
Now 5 guys opting to potentially siege this Phoenix instead of going for the left side tower. They do have Horror Assault though, and if they want to play it like that, they could Horror Assault over to the T2 tower. Not as valuable as a Phoenix play, but we'll have to see what they opt into doing here. Walking into mid lane.
Looks like they just want to clean up these towers, push their gold lead, and I want to be...
Yeah, I think this is the right call. Like, you've got EFG coming up next. You don't want to take a risky fight under a Phoenix, as EFG is going to be spawning soon. And you have Gargantua and Gussie and right as well, so you should get this left T2 for free, but maybe Microwave are going to try and take this fight onto the T2 tower.
It's looking like it. They need to take something here soon. They're just gonna give them this tier 2.
Tier 2 is going to fall.
Absolutely. That's good.
Now,
if they pressure out here, that'll be okay. Now,
this is a risky play.
Sieging onto this team is a completely different matter than fighting into the jungle.
Yeah, absolutely. Furin now barely going to come back into this lane, so potentially going to siege, and instead the rest of 5 guys are going to walk away from this one. Trebuchet is in right, but it's a bit of a risky play. But I mean, 5 guys are still hanging around. Destiny playing up pretty far here, looking for that stun, is not able to connect it, and Furin monkeying in. Doesn't get any real DPS off onto Destinate, but now that Gargantua and Gus is in right, Nemesis is forced to go into mid to clear that fire wave. This could be the play that 5 guys are looking for. Fire Giant, though, about to run out on all 5 members, and this is becoming a bit risky. If Microwave are ready, they can make a good engage play here and potentially kill 5 guys before the Fire Giant spawns. But there's a Horus ultimate. This could be good. Looking over towards the right side, Phoenix, and down lands everybody inside of the jungle. Unfortunately, not enough range on that one, but a knock-up coming out from Divinity, and now the Phoenix being targeted. Gus is here, and Furin gets a huge Fear No Wave off to create a lot of space there. Gargantua and Gus doing a lot of damage to the Phoenix. In the backline, though, Young Legs diving deep, and now Snowy picks up 1 kill onto Furin. Vintage Cow deep in the backline. Dunk Me Daddy doing everything he can to heal, but it's not going to be enough through that Ankh. Destinate going deep as well. Young Legs is able to CC down Divinity, and Dunk now in a lot of trouble. Snowy up into Valkyrie's discretion, chasing down the kills, but Vintage Cow falls to Flicks. A nice ultimate coming out from the Oleron there. Destinate as well, falling incredibly low. Flicks, so is going to fall here inside of the Tremors. Instinct picks up that kill, and Snowy, another one, a double kill for Snowy as the Fire Giant respawns, and that was not the play that 5 guys needed.
And we're at the point where Freya is now going brr.
Freya do go. brrr.
So that is becoming an issue for Five Guys. So it was very well held there. Flix's Oleron was very. I thought it was going to win them that fight.
Yeah.
There coming up, but Microwave just played that disengagement and split so well.
Look how
Only
low
losing
that Phoenix is too.
Yeah, only losing Vintage.
If
And I'm not.
Horrorsoul just barely didn't go far enough, bro. If they hadn't landed
Soul
literally
fucked it.
here on this door, they get that
Yeah.
Phoenix for free without a doubt.
Yeah, but I think they should have probably just backed it out to fire.
Yeah.
They win a firefight. They don't win a siege fight there.
Absolutely, you're right. And now this Fire Giant going free. Look at the amount of damage that Unga and Snowy are doing to this. Dunk is in the area. He might be able to steal this one off, but walks in pretty early. Destinate
Gotta be careful.
pretty low here. Might actually fall to the Fire Giant DPS. Microwave do manage to lock down that Fire Giant. And Dunk forced to ult to get himself out of that one. Whoop off the mark, but Microwave, 5 members with EFG right now, and probably looking to push down this mid and right side Phoenixes. Get their
Yeah,
own heal back
I-
up and pick up some towers.
Mid, they're definitely going to be looking at mid just to equalize the wave pressure of those 5 minions.
Yeah.
Especially with the EFG, like they can split a little bit here, maybe send the Tsukiyomi off to push down left. But definitely in such a commanding position now. With the
Absolutely.
Can we get?
What would you
Five
like to
Guys
see,
is
my
still
friend?
up by about 8k.
They are, but you know, at this point, XP difference is not really relevant
Like,
anymore.
Not relevant at all.
Not relevant at all, and
Yeah.
build's coming out. Not too much longer. Desto still not quite full build, but not too far off either. It's really the gold is only going to affect 3k pots at this point, and maybe a few glyphs here and there.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're up to team fighting.
Man, I would love to see how the end of this game plays out, and I guess we're going to because
I'm very excited personally.
I mean-
Both these teams have been playing lights out this first game. So I'm very
absolutely.
excited.
I mean, Five Guys had the opportunity to win the game there. Maybe a bit of a throw, but Microwave played perfectly to get themselves back into this game. Now locking down this Oni Fury and going to have a few Oni waves rushing down to help them in this T2 push. But taking a lot of time are the Microwavers to do any kind of push here. So maybe an opportunity for Five Guys back into this game.
They might just be trying to get Desto his fix item, group up here, push down mid.
Mhm.
It'll be very interesting. I think that Microwave has a better sieging team because they can just get into the back line.
The good thing about Five Guys defense though is they have that Oleron ult to try to keep people
Yeah, but that's
out
just
and
once.
off.
Like so, if the
True.
Wukong gets in there and forces it,
Furin's making an interesting play here though. He's pushing up this right side, clearing out that Oni wave, but Microwave are aware of it, have picked him out on the minions there, and should be pushing into this mid Phoenix pretty quickly. Furin has back now though, as the rest of Five Guys group under their mid Phoenix here. Oleron ult is available. In fact, all ults available on the map right now. Interesting to see whether or not they choose to push this mid Phoenix down.
Absolutely, I'm just interested to see. Are they going to send? Looks like this Nem is going out to push this left Oni minion wave with the EFG. That's scary. You're gonna have to send somebody to deal with that. Otherwise, you're just going to lose that
Yeah,
Phoenix
100%.
eventually.
100%. It looks like potentially not yet pushing up into this mid Phoenix, waiting for the Nemesis to get that tower down, and Dunk and Furin are now rotating to deal with this Nemesis. This could be the play up onto the mid Phoenix that the Microwavers are looking for here. Already damage coming out from that Tsukiyomi at the range. Bit of chunk into that Phoenix, and I hate to see that.
Yeah, who needs a giant gust when you've got a Tsukiyomi?
Oh, absolutely.
Hit it from
Absolutely. It's the
outside
same
range.
thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I clicked that button too early, but I mean, mid-wave is now here. Flix maybe looking to just clear it out, but Youngling's managed to body block it there, and I would expect now with the Nemesis in the left side that it is going to be a push into this mid Phoenix. Nemesis has now rotated back in and playing it slow are the Microwave boys.
There's a bit of dance here. Bit of dance.
I mean, you don't even have to walk in. Tsukiyomi's nearly half health this Phoenix
I know it's kind
without
of
walking in. I hate that god. Don't let Vintage play it again or knock it down lower when he does. Whoop out onto Dervin, I think is Five Guys. You really need to do something. You really need to... Oh, and Young Legs does manage to blink in there, looking for the DPS onto Flix. Flix in the heart of the backline. Fury gets a massive ultimate off, though, but Vintage Count now deep in the backline as well. Got his own ult off, and... Oh my god, there was a Horus ult there which got a lot of value as well. Phoenix falling very, very low though. Destinate going to die to the Phoenix though. Flix credited with that kill. Dunk picks up Destinate as well, and Snowy now gets that Valkyrie's discretion off, just trying to peel off a little bit more damage, but Furin's here around this corner, and Snowy doesn't have a lot of ways out. Furin blinks in, now the monkey there, but a whoop into the bees. Derv gets the stun off, but not before Unga Instinct blinks in and gets the Nemesis ult off. Snowy falling very low, manages to get some lifesteal off, but not before Furin gets that kill, and now one member of Microwave being chased down by 5 members of the guys in the lanes. And a 5-0, nearly deicide again for 5 guys, 3 lanes as they push down this mid Phoenix.
They hold, and they've got the TP coming here, so they'll have a healthy tank to tank this middle Phoenix.
They want to end here. They're going to push mid Phoenix. They can try and end.
If they pick up Cal, they absolutely can end this game right now. Cal needs to make sure he stays alive and defends this Titan.
They're very low here. He just has to back, and nobody's going to tank this Phoenix up. Everybody kind of waiting.
Doug's TP back to take the Phoenix up, so Doug's at full HP here.
And
Cal just needs to make sure he kills Derv.
I mean, 10 seconds on this respawn, and the 5 guys boys are taking a lot of time. They are going to push into this Titan now, though. Vintage Cow has to use the beads and the Aegis to stay alive outside of that Fiona Weaver, but he's going to get the ultimate off onto Flix in the backline. Might just be able to pick it up, but Aegis is there, and Vintage Cow does fall, but the rest of the Microwave boys have spawned in. The Titan incredibly low now, and 5 guys, 3 lanes pushing in, looking for a destinate. He's going to fall, but the Titan falls first!
What a game! What a game by 5 guys, 3 lanes, justifying the change, the role swap. Flix absolutely going nutty with the 40,000 player damage that game. That is just absolutely insane.
Bro, what just happened? That was insane.
That was so well played. The synergy was amazing from 5 guys, 3 lanes. I'd like to see, like, obviously Microwave played it super well, but they just had nothing to deal with the Oleron.
No.
Like, the Oleron lifesteal late. Once they pop the Ankh and he lives through it, and he's got his ult there, I'm not sure what they're meant to do.
I mean, it was a great play by 5 guys defending that mid lane Phoenix. They waited and waited. Even when that Phoenix got down to half health from the Tsukuyomi, they kept waiting for the engage. Got off that Oleron ult. 12, 3, and 8 on the Oleron. 40,000 player damage. Insane gameplay.
That's just great stuff by Flix. Obviously, dunked the 5-1 and 15 on the Shiva, just putting so much space. Pressure.
We have to talk about Derv there as well, man. He played so well on that Horus as well. The ultimates coming out, especially at that Gold Fury to lock down Snowy. Fantastic play.
And I'm just reading in chat here. Adams Pros let me know that the Cow had over 10k in the last 2 minutes, which is
Jesus.
Pretty insane for fighting. But obviously,
he actually nearly caught up.
Well, yeah, absolutely. That's wild.
Ridiculous. Do we still have a second analyst here that we can throw back to?
Hello. Yeah, I'm the only one on the desk, but yeah.
You guys can talk about it while I get set up for the next game then.
Sure, or I can just do it solo. It's fine.
I need water. I'll be back in a second.
It's fine. I will sum up the game. Very, very close game. Like, holy crap. I was going to say that this game was going to be so good to watch, and they're so evenly matched, and I was correct. The Oleron coming up on Flix was just owning them. Good early game from Flix to shut down and get the first blood onto the Freya. That was just amazing. And the Horus as well was just so good. Yeah, it was like the early game was kind of in favor of the 5 guys 3 lanes, and they still had the pressure, but Micro was coming back, and then it just like the mid game was just like even, and then yeah, just the late game, 5 guys 3 lanes like turn it over, get the Fire Giant, but kind of a bit sloppy when getting the Fire Giant. Looked to get the Phoenix looking to pressure the Phoenix and right, and Horus ult over, and was very scary, but they came back. Good defense by 5 guys 3 lanes, and then push it down. Very risky call, I will say, to go for the end there. I was kind of nervous. I thought it was going to be so close. I thought they were just going to die, and then it was going to be Desto, or Microwave, sorry. We're going to go all the way up and end. But yeah, very well played from 5 guys 3 lanes.
Absolutely, and nearly throwing that game were the 5 guys inside of those 3 lanes, but managed to just barely keep themselves alive throughout.
I like the joke where you guys said 5 guys in the 5
Thanks, man.
Hey, thanks, dude. Appreciate that.
The only mistake I would say is that 5 guys 3 lanes probably just should have gone and gone to get EFG. That's the only downplay, I think, or the misplay, sorry, that they made. Like, they played flawlessly that whole entire game. Focused the Freya. We're really in control, and we're giving the pressure to Microwave. And Microwave, they just, I don't know what they can work on, really. It was such a close game. Maybe they just need to focus on more, like, a better draft, maybe. Or just to...
Bans.
Yeah,
they couldn't deal with the Oleron. They just couldn't get in there when he ulted and kill him, quickly before he could lifesteal up.
Yeah, I would like to see a bit more anti-heal. I don't think I really saw much anti-heal out of them, so maybe that's another issue that they need to focus on. But hopefully we can get into game number 2 shortly if our cameraman is ready for it.
I'd like to go over that. I'm not sure how much of a misplay that Horus. Obviously, it ended up being a misplay, but they might have not known the exact distance. It was so close. Another maybe 20 units to the right, and they absolutely get that kill on that Phoenix.
Yeah, with the Horus ult over to the right Phoenix.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, if Horus had a bit more movement speed, which it's kind of hard with the meta builds nowadays, like you just can't get enough movement speed. But yeah, if he had if he was just a little bit faster, or just be able to get there sooner, it would have been really, really good. But that's the downside about Horus. But yeah, let's get into game number 2. Kepri getting banned out. Just
Great
an
pick.
overall, yeah, just OP pick, and
I would just 5-ban Derv here. Just have their man put on a show. Get rid of Oleron as well and 5-ban Derv. The 4-ban Derv.
I think Horus was just really, really annoying then. I think you probably do ban it because that man put on a show on the Horus. But Hugh Wang getting banned out by Five Guys 3 lanes again. Just a safe ban, I guess. They're just having trouble with that god, but Shiva getting banned.
Shiva, yeah. Dunk Me Daddy absolutely putting on a performance on that, just making space to make the Freya's life like underneath tier 1. If she didn't have ult, she was just dead to that Shiva. You can't get away from it between the knock up, the dance, and the pull.
Yeah, it was a bit rough for the Shiva in the laning phase, but I guess the late game the Shiva just did so much was being annoying to that Freya. Lancelot getting banned, pretty standard ban. He's very, very OP,
and the Nem banning out their own Nem. Interesting. I thought the Nem did pretty well last game.
Yeah.
Being able to put on a lot of pressure. And obviously being their objective end, they're looking like they want to go a completely different route here. So I'm interested to see what Desto are going to value here on their first pick.
Yeah, the ESET ban coming out as well. Probably going to be ESET support ban. We have seen it a little bit, and it is very annoying with the ults and the stun and the silence. But Osiris, first pick for Desto 10 minutes. How do you feel about Osiris, and do you think it'll be in the jungle or solo?
I'm not sure. Obviously, I'd like to look at the rest of their draft before I make a guess.
Yeah.
But my gut is Osiris is good because it's a good first pick because it can get through walls. It's got the ult. It's safe. It puts pressure. So it's just a good first pick if you're not exactly sure what the enemy is going to be drafting here. The Merc Nox coming out from Five Guys 3 lanes. So that's just a completely different look.
I like the Merc pick on Furin, or like I think Furin is really, really good on the carry picks. I think Merc does it well, and Nox being picked up, I think it's just perfect because Destinate just loves the Nox, and getting rid of that Nox and giving it to Five Guys 3 lanes is going to be really, really huge. And I haven't seen Derf play Nox at all, and I'm just wondering if he's a really, really good Nox like the Horus.
Well, we saw his Horus. We saw the mechanics. So the mechanics are definitely there for Nox. And getting that bubble, having a 60% no fun bubble, 60% CDR no fun bubble from Nox is absolutely, atrocious to play against, to be honest with you. And especially if you've got a Mercury slapping you for 120 crits early game.
Yeah, I completely forgot about Bobble, like the 60% cooldown on Nox.
And the ult from Nox as well, just the flat damage reduction it'll put out. And Chernobog being picked up here for the first time in the night. It's actually the first time it's slipped through bans here all night. So that's a huge grab from Destinate. Sorry, Desto's 10-minute microwave miracles.
Yeah, Chernobog just very, very good. Like, I'm surprised. I'm not really surprised, but I'm glad, I'm glad he's picked up with the Ymir. That's a very, very potent duo lane. Very, very good control. And the Chernobog is just going to do so much more for microwave in this mid to late game.
You can't forget the controlling potential of the Chernobog going into the Ymir wall and then dropping it to make them die.
Oh, yeah.
That is always great if you're a support onto your ADC.
I forgot about that.
And the Kyron coming out here, I would say if the Kyron, the Kyron will be ADC in this. I would put a traditional mage with the Mercury, just to be a little bit better. But I would not be surprised if it comes out from mid as well, because with the Bluestone trans, you can be pumping numbies.
Yeah, I'm surprised Flix hasn't like picked up an Ola here or backed the Ola on, but Yeah, it could be a Kyron ADC. It'll be good into the Ymir with the cleanse on his one. So you probably are correct. It's going to be Kyron. But the bans we're looking at, the Poseidon and Soul, just standard bans. I'm guessing they're afraid of flicks with the mage ADCs, so banning out the Soul, and then Five Guys 2 lanes banning out the mid laners that they think are very, very strong. Which yes, Poseidon is very strong with the ult, and with the Ymir freeze with the Poseidon combo, very, very scary, but got rid of it, which is good.
And thank God they get rid of Destinate's Hell. I
Oh,
know I
yes.
know they've already picked the Ymir, but that could have gone jungle, and Destinate just could have picked up his Hell and just absolutely ran the game.
Yeah, that was criminal that he picked that up, but yeah, very, very fun to watch that set.
Oh no, that was he provided so much value. It was insane.
Yes.
And Jing 10 looking like it's going to be coming out here. The Oleron is still up, and I don't know how much I like Desto's 10-minute microwave meals matchup with these three into the Oleron. But it's not looking like they're going to go for it.
Yeah, it'll be easy on the not. It's kind of hard. I don't think you pick up the Oleron because they already have the Chernobog and Oleron in the mid lane. It's
Oh,
kind
I meant
of
for
rough.
5 guys 3 lanes.
Oh, for 5 guy 3 lanes. Oh yeah, yeah.
You-
It's a bit,
they could
bit
have-
rough.
Oh, Kuku Khan. Is that one we've seen before? Yeah.
I don't think we've seen Cuckoo Khan in
Have
a
we
very,
seen
very long
Cuckoo?
time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. No,
Well, I
it's the
don't
first
think we
time he
have.
played.
The first time Cuckoo's been played, so this is kind of hype. The noodle coming out here from, I'm assuming it's going to be vintage, right?
It has to be.
Cuckoo. I'm not sure Cuckoo's a flex pick, personally. And Gilgamesh being hovered here. Gilga is good here, but the Kyron dash will get him out of the Gilgamesh ult for free pretty much every time.
Yeah.
Uh,
But I do like this Cuckoo with the Ymir and Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh with the ult can actually slow down the enemy and be able to make Cuckoo hit his ult easier. Also with Ymir wall, just makes it so much easier for this Cuckoo to be able to control the game more. So I really, really like that pick.
Absolutely, and the Charty being hovered here, just a safe pick for Flicks. Obviously, put on a show last game. Knows he's probably going to get focused this game. Needs to make sure he lives.
Yeah, I don't know if I like this Charybdis pick. I think they're just
Follow.
better. Yeah, there's just better picks than this Charybdis. I don't really see how she really comes like together with this draft. It's kind of weird.
I'm gonna have to say I don't like how much they've invested onto the physical side here with 3 physical carries on 5 guys 3 lanes and just a Nox Jing 10 for the magical damage.
Yeah.
Especially if the Nox is going to be building bubble. Obviously, that's just and bubble and mask. That's
Yep.
just a straight reduction in damage. But in saying that, if they can just get onto this, if the Mercury can just get onto this Cuckoo and kill it before the fight, the Hunters will be able to clean up this front line. But I think I like Desto's draft here just a little bit more than 5 guys 3 lanes. What do you think, Gal?
Yeah, I definitely like what's called Desto's microwave miracles team comp. It's just so much better. Like I just love this Cuckoo with the Ymir Gilga. It's just perfect. And then you have the Chernobog who can play safe, and then you have Osiris who can just run it down. It's going to be Osiris jungle. And I like Osiris jungle. Osiris jungle is just really, really fun. So, actually,
Are you sure
it
it's
could
Osiris
be?
jungle? It could be Gilga.
Yeah, actually, I am completely wrong. I thought it was
Nah,
Osiris jungle. I have not seen a Gilga jungle in forever, to be honest.
It
I thought
has
it was
been a minute, but it is still a ton of pressure. The drop kick is still terrifying to play against, but
Yeah.
the Kyron does have a good matchup into it with the self cleanse and the unknockupable dash.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting here. I believe we're just still waiting for the game to start.
Yeah.
But
I guess we can take it over to the casters, and I'm not sure who the casters are because we got a new caster in here with us. So
we do have Abs joining us tonight, which is awesome. Thank you, Abs, for coming.
I'll hand it over to Dice Heart, and I'll figure out who's going to be joining.
It'll be Dice. It'll be Dice and Abs casting this game. I'll let you guys not hear my voice for a little while.
Okay, take it away, boys.
Thank you very much, and distinct your voice is beautiful, but I am joined here by Abs Pro for game number 2 between 5 guys 3 lanes and Desto's 10-minute microwave miracles. Abs, these team comps, tell me what you're thinking.
Well, first of all, gentlemen, hope we're all doing well this fine evening. These team comps are looking fairly spicy. There's one man in particular I'm looking at.
I wonder who it could be. Yes.
One skinny, fat, cool Khan boy running down the mid lane. I'm really excited to see what he can do with this. I know he's a potent player, so
Oh, yeah.
I'm keen.
I'm so keen to see what this Kukulkan can do. You know, you've got the Ymir for setup, you've got Gilgamesh ult for setup as well. I just missed the noodle, man.
He can get in trouble if he doesn't position right, you know, with a Nox, especially Jing Shen running him down as well.
yeah.
He could have some trouble, but we all know Vintage knows what he's doing, so if he positions well, he'll have a good time.
Absolutely, and yeah, I definitely am expecting a lot of punish coming out from this Jing Shen to deal with, or to, you know, punish the fact that there is no CC immune ult available for that Kukulkan. Bead will probably be the only thing, if not Magi's, that's going to get him out of that one.
See what Furin can do to run him down with his ultimate. It's gonna be good. I'm excited to see what Furin can do. I haven't seen much of him lately. He's been a returning player. Myself seeing him a long time ago. So him coming back is really exciting for this team.
It is very exciting. I think last week there were a lot of jokes made about someone pulling some people out of the retirement home to come back and play, and Furin definitely one of the people coming out of retirement to be here for OCL.
He definitely is, and I think, you know, these teams all coming together has been really fascinating, and something that I've been kind of excited about is where these names have come from.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you know anything about this, Dice, but Microwave Miracles, what's the go with that? You know, I'm thinking like, you know, someone in their house has this microwave that might disrupt some play.
Very specifically Desto's microwave, and his computer is the worst thing I've ever had to deal with in my life. It is awful. And the reference images that I got for that logo as well were literally a picture of Desto's microwave and Guy Fieri, and I had to come up with something for it. So
I was hoping that was Guy Fieri. I was very confused when I saw that. And I was like, is that Guy Fieri? And it is Guy Fieri.
It is Guy Fieri. I can confirm.
I
Those
really want to know some context behind that, because obviously Guy Fieri being a kitchen cook,
yeah,
microwave. There's got to be something.
There's a connection there.
Details missing.
I almost hope the microwave can reverse sweep this so we can get Desto in for an interview and ask him what's going on there.
Even on the other side, Five Guys, 3 lanes. You know, I think maybe it's a bit of an American in me, but Five Guys, the restaurant, is that, maybe I'm just being a bit off there, but Five Guys, 3 lanes, I'm going to assume that's just a quick little name that they've put themselves.
Look, it definitely is. I think someone that used to be on the team actually gave them the idea for that, and then they moved on from the team.
Oh, right. So they've
but
stolen content.
They stole the content, they
here.
loved it enough to keep it, and it is a pretty good name. We managed to get a good joke out of it last game as well.
Team's looking good right now. What do you think of Guardians in the solo lane at the moment, Dice? Thinking of magical supports being on that side of the map.
I actually really like... Oh, nice freeze onto Derv there as well. Going to fall pretty low on that Nox. Jeez.
I have some pressure in this lane. It looks nice so far.
It does indeed. I really like Guardians in the solo lane at the moment. I think that they're not great in lane, obviously. Like, you're going to have an Osiris walking at you for the vast majority of this laning phase. But once you hit the late game, having a Jing Shen that's that tanky, be able to blink ult in, you're not able to punish him. Oh, nice pause. You're not able to punish him at all, and then he gets that massive ultimate off and continues to disrupt your backline with all that CC. I think it's great.
It is quite good, you know, and it really depends on how well they can manage through the early game. Using that conduit gem is not easy to kind of look over the stacks all the time. And I guess similarly on the other side, building magical defense as your first defense item in solo lane can get risky, especially if you're looking at, you know, a higher attack speed character such as Mercury.
Yeah.
You really got to be careful about these, you know, level 2-3 ganks.
Absolutely. If oh, look, it was Desto that DC'd as well.
Wow.
There's a surprise for
Look
you.
at that. Looks like Guy Fieri strikes again.
And once more. Yeah, if Young Legs isn't very particularly careful about when he uses that ultimate, and potentially goes for a bit of a hard dive, doesn't realize that there's a Mercury ult around the corner, 100% he's going to get rolled through by that DPS having a magical item, magical defense to begin with. So, yeah, I'd be worried.
A bit behind the times, Dice.
Mm-hmm.
You called him Yegs. Is that something that he likes to go by?
Look, it's definitely something that I picked up from other people calling him.
Okay.
He definitely responds to
It'll have
Yegs.
to make the rounds.
I think that's a great idea for everybody in chat right now. Only call him Yegs from now on.
Yegs?
Yegs.
I like Yegs. It depends if he really likes, you know, the protein eggs. But I wonder where he's got his name too. You know, there's so much context behind these players' names that I want to know.
100%.
Being the famous creator of the
name tier list.
there's a lot. There's a lot going behind these inspirations for these names, and I want to know it. I want to know everything.
Absolutely. I mean, and we just don't have enough interviews in the day to find out about all this stuff.
We don't.
At least,
like we need to have a bit of a podcast to see what's going on.
oh,
With these names.
that's a great idea. If only there was some kind of OCL podcast that you could find on YouTube at Smite OCL, that would be sick to be able to see. And if
Perhaps we
only
should take a look at the Instagram, maybe they might have some details down there.
they
Who
sure
knows?
probably do, as well as on Twitter at Smite OCL, OCL Smite. I
Oh,
can't
Twitter
remember which one.
too. You know,
Yeah.
there's a lot of places you can get some Smite OCO content, and it's doing really well so far.
I'm really appreciative of that fact for whoever's putting together all that content.
Twitch Prime.
Oh yeah, and Twitch Prime as well. Don't spend your money, use Twitch Prime. Thanks. What a good use of our pause so far.
Been a good pause so far. Destinate's Microwave really being the MVP this match so far.
And it's exactly what we expected to do as well. You know, this is the play that Destinate's Microwave pretty consistently makes throughout games. So I'm not surprised to see it doing quite well here.
Big long pause. You know, it really gives his players time to think about their matchups and how they want to play the game.
Really glad we rushed through picks and bans to get to this.
Yes. Rushing picks and bans is also a good idea. You know, on the inverse, you know, if the Microwave has strucken in P's and B's, then we would be in a bit more trouble.
That's
so
true.
I guess we are in game now, so
We would be in a much worse position if that were the case. So I'm glad that we're in game, and at least we can look at
Okay.
these builds. And it looks like Carib is potentially going straight into Ickaville first item as well, which I've seen a fair bit for Carib die, I believe is the plural there. Compared
it is
to
a plural.
I would have thought so. I
Okay.
would have thought so. Surely.
You would think so.
Yeah. Compared to a Transtart by the looks of it for Snowy on this Journalbog. What do you reckon between that matchup there?
Well, I think Carib just has to go the bow
Mhm.
first off.
Yeah.
You know, with how the auto attacks work, it just makes so much more sense to either proc item effects or
Yep.
do anything else other than stack, because you just need to get these procs. So chins, Desto, you know, getting anything you can is going to help the Carib die.
Indeed.
Conversely, on the other side, with an attack speed steroid from Chernobog, you know, being able to get some power with such power in an AoE explosion really helps getting that damage through the mid game.
Yeah, 100%. And I am excited to see how Chernobog plays at the moment. We did just see him eat a bit of a nerf in that bonus patch that came through. So I don't think it'll be too bad. It was a little bit of like lost mitigations off of his ult, but he's still a rotation king.
You got to think mitigations on a hunter.
Yeah, who cares?
It's been a thing for a long time, and it's taken them a long time to really hit that. You know, when I was playing a long time ago, that's been 30, 35 mitigations for a long time. So to see it dip now, and even conversely to see Chernobog still in play,
Yeah.
is really interesting.
You have to be looking at it and going, yeah, that was the problem with Chernobog. It was the mitigations the whole
It was the
time.
mitigations.
We couldn't figure it out. Yeah, I don't know. I don't imagine it hurting him that much. Like, yeah, his ultimate's probably the best part of his kit, other than we're finally unpausing. Other than that dash, getting him into the walls quite safely.
Guy Fieri has come to save the day.
Finally, thank you, Guy
has-
Fieri.
Has been helping Destinate with these XP camps on the side, so a bit of pressure coming out here. Looking safe so far, though.
Flick's in a good position to poke onto Snowy there, though, and nice play from Derv. Unfortunate that he doesn't get the combo off, though.
I wonder if these player mentalities, you know, carry over into games, because that early game, last game, Flicks absolutely popped off in
He
those first minutes.
pumped.
So you've got to assume that Snowy's shaking in his boots a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I would hope as Snowy you kind of shake it off a little bit. You go, you know what, that happened. I got soloed by Flicks, but I can shake that one off and get into. Oh my lord!
Oh my!
I was not
Wow.
paying enough attention, and that's a solo kill for Dunk for the first kill of the game. Stop!
Oh my! All around the map, there's a lot going on this game. 2 minutes
Gorilla.
in, and we've already got 2 kills.
Wow, 5 guys, 3 lane, managing to absolutely dominate mid and solo lane at the moment, and picking themselves up about a 900 gold lead already.
Maybe that the microwave is the factor in this. I think.
I
You know,
think it
that
might be.
pause really got them. Their brain slowed down a little bit.
I mean,
Making some mistakes.
yeah, it really did. Microwaves in their brains, but I have to assume that 5 guys were sitting there like, alright, this is what we're doing right here in the next 30 seconds after this pause, because why wouldn't they? They're not the ones that paused, and they played it perfectly. I
Okay, we
think
can start it right now. That was a microwave power play.
That was a
maybe
microwave
not
power
for
play.
the microwave team, but it was a microwave power play.
and we are
Like,
sponsored by microwaves, so I wish I had a graphic for that. That'd be so good.
Just throw that up on screen. We'll get
Yeah.
the producers to run that up next.
Absolutely, for the highlight reel, we'll get microwaves in their first blood.
I want to go back on this Xingchen first blood. It's not easy to get a first blood on Xingchen.
I don't know
there's
how
not much
you
damage
do
to
that.
do. So whether it was just Yegs making a bit of a mistake on that side,
I just
he is a bit of a deficit from now on.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to assume maybe some minion poke coming out, conduit gem maybe, provides a little bit more power than you'd think on the Xingchen. That double
That's
jump
just
is
it.
pretty good too.
Yeah, that's just it. Not being able to have some physical defense in this solo lane, that
Yep.
minions do a lot of damage. So
Absolutely.
he's got to be real careful.
Nice double
Freeze going on in the
there.
solo lane.
And some DPS coming out on the flicks as well, but he's pumping it right back through those minions onto Desto as well. This poor microwave team though, they're just playing from behind now. They've really got to find a way to kind of get themselves back into this early game before some of these mid and solo laners and even the jungler get out of control.
Just know they just need to channel that in the Guy Fieri.
That's
and
true.
Find a way to get themselves back.
I
Into
mean,
this.
there's only one
Cal-
counterplay to the microwave, and it's Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri is really running him down right now.
Mhm.
Pop your
Yep.
noodles in the microwave, and I'm gonna assume Vintage Cow's gonna run this game. I'm really excited to see him.
Look, he's got every opportunity on this Kukulkan. Yeah, he might have. Oh no, he actually lived that as well. It was actually Unga on the Gilgamesh that fell earlier in the mid lane. So Vintage is still in a prime position to kind of carry this game for them.
Yeah, I think once he gets his stacks online, right now it's a bit hard.
Yeah.
He's gonna be very much relying on his ults for these fights. At least in the early game, when he gets his damage online, with like Polly or
Dash coming out
anything
from
else.
Gorilla for some of that damage, but I mean, Vinny's pretty safe on this Cuckoo at the moment, I would imagine.
And that's just it. He knows how to position. We've all seen the cow.
Yeah,
running
absolutely.
Down our casual cues. He knows what he's doing. So if he hears a Kyron galloping at him, he's gonna hold that SK.
He's gonna be just fine. He's gonna be just fine. I'm curious, what do you reckon? Like, he's obviously going this Book of Thoth first item. Do you think he picks up a Warlocks as well, or is it not necessary at this point?
I think it's a good idea
Mm.
as the Girl Fury comes into play. I think Warlocks works the best as a start builder. So you
Yeah.
need to start building it from the start. Kopolkan can maybe make an exception with his passive, getting more power depending on how much mana he has.
Yeah, 100%.
Started on his book. So it's going to depend on how the microwave team really want to drag this game out.
Yeah.
They're going to let Vintage stack these stacks, then he'll be fine to go the Warlock second.
100%. I think as well, like, if you're the microwavers at this point, if you're the Guy Fieri supporters, you kind of look at the last game and you go, man, that game really dragged out, and yeah, it was actually pretty even through the vast majority of it. I think you could almost justify to yourself double stacking because you know that this game's just as likely to drag out for as long.
Likely, I would get scared of a late game Mercury, however.
And 2 ADCs. And a
Very
Jinx
much known to be very prominent in the late game. So
is factual. Very factual.
quite interesting to see how this game goes. If they are looking for the late game, they're going to have to put some pressure on now, so they don't get to the late game. But maybe Vintage is their late game hope.
Maybe he just one-shots Mercury and ADCs and they win the game off of that.
I think that's what's going to happen. Guy Fieri coming out. He's gonna-
Absolutely. Straight through that Kukulkan ult. Spirit of the Nine Fieries. Beautiful. You love to see it.
I do think Five Guys are having a very strong early game, though.
Absolutely. Now,
Getting your mid laner a quick kill in the mid game is
Yeah.
going to get that transcendent stacked really fast, and that's probably just how Unga fell in that early game.
I'd say so, yeah.
The early game damage really coming out to help these guys.
Desto, nice little grouping here from Five Guys, trying to lock down these oracles outside, but there is a Chernobog ult available at the moment, and Snowy is going to land in towards Fury and unable to lock anybody down though, and a nice bit of peel there from Derv, who is going to be jumped on though by Unga Instinct. Out goes Derv though, and nothing really happened there.
Derv gets out into the. Yeah, that was a bit of a scramble in the Oracle fight. So
Yeah.
it looks like a quick little scramble over there, and no one seems to fall so far. So,
Oh, you hate that.
Yegs not having a good time in the solo lane so far. When you lose your blue like that, it is really hard on the mental.
Oh yeah, especially
I am
to a
feeling-
Guardian. Because Guardians are the ones that need help on their blue buff, typically from the jungler, and to lose your blue buff to a Guardian invade, that's rough. You hate to see that.
It's really got to hurt. I'm going to assume that Conduit Gem really coming in for the extra. damage
It's
there.
really coming in clutch, and the 30-odd stacks on the Warlocks as well, clearly doing some work as we see Desto playing pretty aggressive in this mid lane, but Vinny's just looking to farm at the moment. 30 stacks on his
and
Book of Thoth.
this is it, looking for that late game, I suppose. Perhaps Desto is really going to help him get there. And looks like a bit of a route. See that wall coming in handy just to stop some damage onto the cow.
And in fact, Microwave have picked up that first trebuchet of the game as well, which might just give them the pressure back into this that they need. Unga Instinct though, wrapping around behind Derv after that freeze came out. Derv is able to get the dash off outside of that kick, but Gilgamesh ult wins of Shamal Shah down, and the Spirit of the Nine wins as well, but Derv barely took any damage to it, and what was that, 3 ultimates used for nothing?
Unfortunate. See,
Stop! Every time I go to mid, this shit happens. We haven't actually watched the
my.
kill yet. Flicks and Fury.
Man's having some trouble in this game. Maybe his microwave's messing up a little
Yeah,
bit.
clearly. I'm gonna have to turn it off.
Fury.
This is a good Gold Fury play. You kill the ADC, 3 ultimates, including the secure, were forced out in mid from the Microwavers. This is a free Gold Fury, no doubt about
I
it.
wonder if they know this is happening.
I don't know, hey, it's only 8 minutes in. It's not a very likely time to do the Gold Fury, but either way, I don't think that they were going to be able to stop it from happening.
No, there's no way. You know, as soon as Desto backs, if they see that, they go Gold Fury immediately. With their comp so far,
Yeah.
Mercury doesn't have the most damage, but he does have the attack speed from Golden Blades. So
Absolutely, as we
See,
see in the
Young
right
Blades
lane.
running with the gold lane.
Oh, but there is a Gilgamesh here as well, and I don't think that Dunk is aware of this. Might be able to get the jumps off, but he's dropped it into the wall. Young Legs is here at the moment as well, maybe trying to trade the kills, and Young solos the jump just off the mark, but he does get the kill!
Oh my!
Oh my lord!
Dunk me really putting in work to get that kill. Maybe it was Minion 34 really just on his
Oh,
side.
I had to assume that was Minion 34. They needed that so badly. Fury now here to potentially punish Unga Instinct, who was on this Totem of Ku. Might get the jump over the wall and is able to get out of that one. Stop every time I... Vintage Cow picks up Divinity under the mid tower.
How strange. It took them 3 ultimates last time.
And this time...
And this time they only used a Vintage Cow.
hmm
One Kokolkan ultimate gets the kill.
I have to
Maybe it
assume...
was Gus. I think Gus might have done a lot of that.
Yeah,
there.
Gus is there and doing a lot of work. This tower might actually fall because of Gus's presence too.
Desto doing a really good job to stop this.
Just keeping Gus there, as Gorilla has to dash in to get it out, but Furin is now altered Destinate as well, and the shell has come down, but 2 auto attackers smacking you up here. You might not be able to get out. A nice wall from Desto, though, might keep him alive for long enough. Beads out of Furin after that freeze, and now Vintage is here to try to get a counter kill onto Furin. Desto has fallen to that ultimate from Gorilla, but Snowy's here now as well, picks up that counter kill, and you have to be happy with that trade. Support for jungle there.
That was beautiful play by Destinate.
hmm
He died, but he got 2 sets of beads. The mid tower is almost gone.
Yep.
And there's just, you know, Kokolkan got his red buff.
He basically killed the jungler there himself as well.
Yeah, he's done well to do that. I'm surprised I didn't see Vintage go in there a bit earlier to save his support, but he did get there in time to at least witness 2 beads being burned.
Yeah.
Hopefully that gets called upon the team and they can act on that.
Absolutely, and now, you know, having this Kukulkan pretty much fully stacked up on his stealth, and now has the Warlock Sash as well available. Any CC onto any squishy target is going to meet a dead person, and without those beads up, I imagine they're going to be looking for exactly that.
Pressure on the purple seems to be dropped as the Carib Die loses a bit of farm, but does have the pressure with the Archival being killed first.
Absolutely.
Snowy almost finished his stacks as well, so that carry has been quite even over on that side. A few kills, but for the most part, the carry lane is quite easy.
Decent grouping over at this Pyromancer right now. A nice wall to separate out the fight, but I don't think they realize that Gorilla's over this wall at the moment. Nice freeze onto Furin, though, whose beads were down after that last fight. Drop kick off the mark, though, and dunked deep in the backline, but Young Legs has gotten in deep as well. Just looking to pick off Furin here, already down to half health. There's the washing machine, though. Instinct knocked up pretty far. Into the backline goes Young Legs, still deep, though, and Nados are doing so much damage to Dunk as he's frozen inside of it. Spirit of the Nine Winds comes out, too. Furin rips through the backline, but Vintage has already picked up 1 kill. Young Legs picks up Derv as well. Unga, very low to Gorilla at the moment. The dash comes through, but now surrounded is Gorilla. Flix is here trying to get off damage, but Vintage Cow doing a hell of a lot more. Vintage picks up the double kill onto Gorilla. Destinate getting that freeze off as well, and Flix is trapped behind a wall. Gets the ultimate off himself. Furin around this corner as well, but Snowy's here, the ultimate in, and might just be able to pick up a kill under this tower. Taking a little bit of damage isn't he now, but Flix probably not going to be able to get the kill himself, now being chased out by people just willing to tank tower for this kill.
They're under this tower and it's still got no health, and
Oh my
they have to
lord.
retreat. So there's a lot to unpack there. There was a lot going on. Dunk Me did such a good job to
Yeah.
Washing Machine ultimate 2 to 3 members of the Microwave squad, and he still fell.
That is ridiculous.
What's going on in that backline?
I mean, it felt like so much of that was Young Legs and then Vintage. Like, let's check Vintage's player damage. Yeah, 6'9". Not bad on the Kukulkan at this point.
Good timing. That's nice.
Yeah, you love to see that. But, I mean, that was just ridiculous. Like, so many NATOs just did so much damage, and then the CC that came out by Young Legs to keep everybody trapped inside of that was just ridiculous.
He did really well there, and I think Unga got out on very low health, so it would have helped to grab that kill for the 5 guys, but unfortunately wasn't able to grab that, and they lose their mid tower for it. So a lot more space being opened up for the Microwave squad.
And now
Vintage is still farming.
I mean, pretty much an even game. Well, over in the Joy lane at the moment, Flick's incredibly low. Has to use that Aegis as Unga is chasing him down into this tower. The RC proc is available, but he might not be able to get out of this one as there's the Winds of Shamash to pick up the kill, and Unga barely picking that one up as he turned away.
Edge.
You love the fadeaway too. Winds of Shamash, get the kill, turn around, see ya.
That is an easy, didn't even look medal for Unga right there.
That's cool guys don't look at explosions. Cool guys don't look at Gilgamesh ults.
So a group for a Gold Fury, I don't even think 5 guys know this is happening.
They've got no idea, and even if they did, Fury might get close enough to ult, but he's not going to out-secure Vintage Cow and Destinate as well on the Ymir, Kukulkan as Microwave pick up that Gold Fury, and in the meantime, Young Leg's looking at this, but Snowy is already up in the air. This might be a risky play. Wait, this is Microwave, this is free!
Wow, okay, they were just checking that Snowy ult was very, very...
That was really smart.
Just to get some vision and stunned me.
Wow.
Chance to steal this, but too slow.
That was incredible. That was within maybe 10 seconds. Both objectives picked up by Microwave, and I thought that Snowy was ulting to prevent 5 guys from picking that up, but it was actually his team on it, and Snowy was using his ult for vision to make sure that it was going to be free, and it absolutely was.
That was beautiful play. 2 objectives within 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Microwave. Guy Fieri really coming in to work for them. I think this is exactly what they need to do, though. You know, getting their pressure on right now before these carries and this Mercury gets online.
100%.
Really important. And, you know, I've seen Vintage Cow farming as much as he can. Level 15 by 15. He's doing really well.
100%. He has just been playing the farm game. 3-0-2 on the Kukulkan as well with a nice bit of damage to his name. He's doing everything he can to get Microwave, or keep Microwave in this game and give them the lead that they've got at the moment. Interesting to see what's going to happen next on the map, though. There's not a lot up.
Yeah, there is not much. I'm going to just assume there's going to be a lot of farming happening as these buffs come up. You know, not much fighting to be had. Maybe over some Scorpions, as we see a bit of a grouping over on the
This is a large grouping, and they did walk over a reward to get to this. Flicks maybe just thinking he can get himself out of this one, but the freeze comes out, and the beads were used there by Flicks as well. No way you're getting out of this one. Does opt to try to get the knock-up off and just waste a little bit of time. Goes up into the ultimate, behind him, Munga Instinct is going to lock down the kill, and yeah, I don't know, there was a ward there, but I don't know how you don't see that whole team coming for you.
Yeah, it must have been a bit of a Microwave moment for the Microwave squad.
Indeed.
Unfortunate. Young Legs fighting 3 with beads used.
Oh, a lot of the Afterlife is going to get him safely over that wall, though, and, I mean, you're happy if you're the Microwave boys right now. You've killed Flicks, you're potentially pushing down this left side tower as well, and no trade-off for it.
2k gold lead for the Microwave squad. I think those objectives really looking well, and we see Furin trying to get some extra farm in this right lane.
Might be in a little bit of trouble here. Has the ultimate available. Should be pretty safe to get out of this one. Potentially just playing to get the ultimate off, in fact, as well, as we see the Gilgamesh. Munga rotating and uses that jump, and there's Dunk Me Daddy. Is able to get 2 underneath the tower. The beast came out from Munga, but not early enough. Now Young Legs trapped under here. Has the tether off into 2 right now, but there's a Sonic Boom. Is able to connect with just Young Legs, but not for long enough. Young Legs does pick up Furin, though, and there's a landing from Snowy as well. There are 4 members of the Microwavers here. Not opting to push down this T1 tower, though.
That's a good grouping. That was very fast. Snowy using that Chernobyl ultimate to get over there very fast. Vintage Cow being on that right-hand side of the map. That is unfortunate for Furin. They played that so well
100%.
To keep them under the tower, and beads just got used. So that's a win for them. Unfortunately, Furin dies, but they did well to defend his right tier 1 as looking for a bit of a group on there.
Oh, nice wall there from Desto. Is going to force Dunk to get out of that tower, and this T1's going to fall pretty quickly. Gorilla here as well. Might get engaged on, in fact. Vintage Cow playing very aggressively here. And I want to see how much damage that NATO does to Dunk. It's not bad. He has a bit of magical
500?
defense. Maybe 500.
Yeah, he's stacking up this damage, 16 by 17.
Now he's got that Mirrodin's up too. I'm a bit scared.
already online. There's the T1 falls in left as well. Carib die.
Freeze.
Doing really well to pressure even just some goal for his team.
Off the mark was that freeze there from Desto, and this is a big grouping. I guess Trebuchet is here. The old Gargantua and Gus looking to push down this T2 tower now as Unga blinks onto Furin there, gets a drop kick off, and Furin now incredibly low. He's going to potentially fall here. Manages to get that dash off though and trying to crack trade with crits. Unga manages to get that kill onto Furin. In the meantime though, I saw Spirit of the Nine wins over that wall, and Dunkme is now very, very low as Snowy goes up into the air, looking to dive that backline, and he's going to land into 3 of them. Derv now inside of that freeze and drop kick into the wall will fall here as Gargantua and Gus continues to push. Unga credited with the double kill, and now Flix is here, but maybe too late to help his team.
Flix coming in like, guys, what happened?
Yeah.
There was a lot to just happen in that right lane. Gargantua and Gus still rocking that T2 tower. As we see a teleport coming in as well.
Dunk is here now after that TP, and it'll be interesting to see if he can hold this. Gorilla already very low, and nobody's able to get into this Trebuchet to stop it from Gargantuaing, and it's Gus. Yep, this is a really hard word to work off of, as the T2 very likely to fall now.
Gargantuan, T2, one hit away. They still want to defend it. They're looking for a bit of a fight here.
This is
moves forward, but
risky. The T2
T2
does
falls.
fall. Dunk playing aggressive here, but not looking to pick up Vintage, who was backing right in front of him. Instead, opting to try and pass to Unga, who is now completely out on this Gilgamesh.
He's out. He's safe. Desto wall helps him get out of there. That was good play. They had a good grouping, a long grouping.
Yeah.
As we see some of the objectives start to come back online, we will see some more grouping. Microwave squad.
Now, if you're the 5 guys, you know that Microwave now have the aggression on either of these objectives that they want, but you also know that both of them were dropped around the same time. Do you reckon you let them pick their choice and you just go for the other one, or are you going to try to contest the one that they go for?
You need to 5 group somewhere. You are not getting both unless you get lucky with a steal. They need to either choose gold or they choose pyro. Looks like they're looking at gold for a bit of a fight here as Young Legs moving forward.
Well, it's definitely a bait player, though, as Gorilla already uses that Kyron ultimate, and a huge wall there coming out from Gorilla, but a nice silence there from Derv prevents the freeze from coming out, so Spirit of the Nines wins. Off the mark, Flixo being hard engaged on, and in the back line is Young Legs trying to chase that one down, but no kills just yet. Low health bars across the board, though, mean that potentially... Oh, Unga making that dive. Potentially, sorry, Microwave are going to pick up this gold here, and yes, they are. There's no way that 5 guys are going to be able to contest this now.
As much as Microwave won that fight, 5 guys did really well to not get stuck or get engaged.
Yeah.
The Ymir wall really allowed Microwave to move forward, but that silence from Derv stopped a lot of kills just coming out.
Perfect silence from Derv. Prevented that freeze from coming out. Spirit of the Nine Winds came out regardless and was just completely off the mark because of it. Really well played by Derv, and he's really showing up in support so far this set.
He's doing really well. I do like these new builds. Cronus Pendant. Oh,
Desto. Although, Gorilla managed to use that dash to get a lot of value out and knock up Unga, but he has jumped into the backline now. Winds of Shamash are down. There's the Dishwasher, though, but it might not be enough as the wall is up. I swear I keep switching between Dishwasher and Washing Machine. As Snowy picks up the kill onto Derv. Young Legs now diving deep into the backline. And the rest of 5 guys well zoned out of this fight as Microwave go towards the fire giant, I have to expect.
They can see Flix in that left lane. It will be interesting to see what they want to do if they send someone back. Looks like they're going to give up that tier 2 for the Fire Giant. Very good call.
Absolutely.
And no one coming to defend this Fire Giant, so that's free for Microwave.
And that might be the right call from 5 guys as well. At a certain point, you go, okay, we're just going to lose harder if we try and fight at this Fire Giant. Instead, let's try and take a good defense under Phoenix. We've got a lot of auto attackers. We can do a fair bit of DPS underneath the Phoenix. Let's let them make a mistake and get ourselves back into the game, just like last game, but the opposite.
Wow, it took us a long time to get that T2 tower, and he could be in trouble if Young Legs catches him.
And Young Legs has already got the slow off.
Together.
Oh, he's going to get out of that stun using that Charybdis ultimate. Now Gorilla is here, but Young Legs has used the Lord of the Afterlife. Might get in a bit of trouble here. The beads were used to get himself out of that stun. Spirit of the Nine wins, though. Knocks through 3 members. That was a huge chunk of damage there, and now 5 guys, 3 lanes, and an incredible amount of danger. Dunkme is going to get his ultimate off, and now Young Legs, the one in trouble, is going to be trapped inside of this tower range, but not for long enough. Vintage credited with that double kill as Furin falls. Young Legs not going to fall to the ultimate from Gorilla, and that was a huge ult from Vintage.
Huge ult from Vintage. I've got to give props to Young Legs, though. He W-keyed all the way through that left jungle, and he's still alive.
That was ridiculous.
That was beautiful play. I think he did really well, even getting caught with the Washing Machine under the T2. Kyron ult, he takes a lot, and he still lives.
Ridiculous.
5 guys' mental is gonna be shaky at this point in time.
You have to be so scared of this Osiris now. You committed so many ultimates, so many abilities into him, and it didn't matter. He lived the whole thing.
You're going to need more eyes on the back of your head. It's so hard to focus on an Osiris running at you just to see a Spirit of the Nine Winds come
Just
through the peripheral
rip you
vision
apart.
and rip you apart, which is exactly what happened on this left side.
And not only that as well, like there's so many distractions from this team. Snowy on the Chernobog as well can kind of ult in from wherever he wants to on the map, and now Flick's already being engaged on again by Young Legs, who's just got out of base. Legs
Pressure
is
he
not
better
leaving him
have.
alone, man.
No, well, Flix has been one of the sole standards on this left-hand side, so maybe he's giving a bit of his own medicine. Bit of
Now,
pressure on the
though,
left-hand side of the map.
potentially the only person defending this side of the map is the Microwave Boys push down this Phoenix almost for free, and Derv gets that Nox ultimate off, but it might not be enough as Unga is forced into the Titan area, and a huge Spirit of the Nine once
Spirit of the
again,
Nine
though. Not a
wins.
lot of damage coming out from that one. Furin, though, he's going to fall to Snowy, and Ymir ultimate is there as well, but Vintage is just doing so much damage, already at 23k. And, I mean, maybe that Spirit of the Nine did do a lot of damage. I think Furin probably was the one that ate most of it.
I think I remember seeing 17k as we see a bit more pressure coming in this Titan room. They could look to end if they catch them on a card.
I mean, this will be interesting to see. They're not quite in the late game enough, and they don't quite have EFG for this to be a clean fight. And Five Guys might be able to bring this one back from here.
I think they have a chance. They have to be very careful. There is a large grouping in the mid lane.
Nice combo from Derv, but he might fall low here with the Winds of Shamash there, and this mid Phoenix should fall as well. Flick's being engaged on once more. Young Legs has not left him alone this game, and he's not going to start now. Unga forced to use those beats to get out of that combo from Derv, as now the ultimate comes out from the Nox, able to zone out the rest of Microwave, but 2 Phoenixes down, and no kills on the board for Five Guys after that.
Arguably the two, or at least the left Phoenix falling is very valuable. Five Guys to lose. Unfortunate for them. They do have a bit of a grouping coming up mid, but I think Microwave Squad do get away with this.
Oh, Blink
Top
in
three.
from Dunk, uses the ultimate, but nobody around at the moment. Desto was picked up there, and Young Legs there too. Furin off the mark with that ultimate, and now deep in the back
Unfortunate.
goes Young Legs once more. He doesn't want to ult out, he wants to ult in. Spirit of the Nine Winds connects, and Flicks falls.
Beautiful.
Insane damage. Unga Instinct now diving deep into the back line, and Unga is going to pick up the double kill. Vintage credited with the kill onto Divinity as well, and Dunk me now the sole survivor on this side of the map. 3 members of the Microwaves are around him. Triple kill for Vintage, and the 1v1's going on, but I don't think it'll matter who gets the kill, as the rest of the Microwave Boys are going to push into the Titan, and I kind of want to watch what happens over here.
Looking like Young
Come on.
Legs. He deserves his kill.
You
He has
deserve
been
this
going-
kill, Young Legs. The 2 connects. Surely you get
Come
this
on,
last
grab it.
ability
The
off.
two. Oh no!
Furin's
Is he gonna
too
be able to
fast.
Get it before the game ends.
Oh, the blink from Furin as well, as the Titan does fall, and the Microwave Boys are able to lock down the second game, bringing us to a 1-1 and our first 3-game set of the second season of OCL.
How exciting! The long game from the first game, and now the second game really doing damage to Five Guys mental. It's going to be interesting to see how they run picks and bans. What they do if they
Absolutely.
ban the noodle.
Absolutely, that was ridiculous. Such a good game from the Microwave Boys there, and Vintage just turning up 8-0-6 on the noodle. And let's check that player damage: 30,000 from Vintage as well. Jesus.
When we saw that 3-man Spirit of the Nine Winds in that left lane when Young Legs ran at Flicks,
Yep.
he was roughly at 17 to 18k.
Yep.
He picked up 12k damage
12k in that time.
in that time. He got to his end game. It wasn't the end game of the match, but he got to his end game, and his slash line shows.
100%, 100%. And I mean, after that first game as well, where Flix was able to, you know, pretty much dominate and really did work on that Oleron, we see that Young Legs just focused him out this time and would not let him have his way with the game. And the rest of the game was just Vintage doing everything he could to carry, and it worked.
It seemed like unfortunate for the Five Guys. Gorilla does come out with a 2-2. I think he was the main source of damage for his team. Unfortunate that they lost that game, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do for this game 3. How all teams are feeling about this. We haven't seen one so far in UCL.
I'm very excited to see it, but let's pass it back to the analyst, assuming we've still got analysts, and let them break that game down for us before we get into picks and bans for the third game.
I don't think there's much more to be said than the noodle.
Yeah, the noodle was potent.
Yeah, absolutely. Vintage Cal putting in work. Just we saw him. We just go insane. Just 3-man ults, putting down perfect placements of the whirlwind to the zone, and even just 2 damage. And Flicks being chased down by the Osiris late game, just not being able to do anything against that, even with the Charlie being able to get underground and with his ult, just still being chased down. you have to think that they're gonna have to readjust their draft here.
Yeah, that was really, really rough for Flex. Yeah, just got run down. But the what's it called? The Ymir and Gilgamesh just really helping that noodle just pop off. Like, yeah, it's just so potent. I think you either just got to get rid of the Ymir or the noodle, but I think you just get rid of the Ymir. Ymir was just so good. The
Yeah.
walls, the slows, the ultimates as well. Like, this game was just so interesting. Five Guys, Three Lanes, really, really good in the early game. Got like the first 2 kills, but then like they soloed the Gold Fury at like 7 minutes into the game. It was really, really good, but then they just backstepped and what's it called? Microwave just went in and like just popped off.
You can pretty much pinpoint the exact time that the Cuckoo gets the stuff of Mirrodin and when things start going wrong
Yeah.
for Five Guys, Three Lanes. But yeah, as you pointed out, Destinate absolutely on point with every single wall that he threw out, just breaking up fights, starting fights, locking people in. It was with the whirlwind, it was just wild to watch.
Yeah. I was very happy with Dunk Me and Gorilla's performance though. Dunk Me got a solo kill onto Young Legs in the early game. Was very interesting and got traded to kill as well in the solo lane. He did really, really well on Xing 10, so props to him.
Yeah, very proud. The Five Guys, Three Lanes, obviously with the role swaps, kind of I bet they kicked Desto's 10-minute microwave miracles into another gear, which is good. I'm sure they were hoping for that. So we get a game 3 here, which is very exciting, as Abs mentioned. It's our first one so far this season, I believe.
Yeah, very first. All the other games have been a 2-0, and now we're getting a game 3, which is the very, very first. I would like to see Five Guys Three Lanes change their draft. The draft from game 2, they didn't really have much CC, so I'm hoping they have more CC, a better comp, and I wouldn't be surprised if Microwave just go back with the same comp, because that worked out brilliantly for them.
Yeah, maybe give Flex a little bit of early help over, because we saw game 1 when Flex was able to get out and going, he absolutely ran the show. So maybe try and bring back some of that magic that we were seeing. But we're getting into picks and bans here with the first. Sorry, where are we at on the stream?
We're just waiting for the person who's controlling the stream. We do see the Shiva ban coming out from Microwave Miracles. I'm guessing they're just afraid of Dunk Me going on that Shiva from the first game. It's a good safety ban and focus ban, I guess is the word.
Focus ban, and it's obviously a comfort pick for Dunk. Very strong. The Hu Huang coming out. Can't say that. If they did not pronounce that correctly, I apologize. But that's obviously just for vintage. They must know that he's happy on that one.
Yeah, and it is a very, very, very good god and very safe god, so it's a good to ban it.
Freya.
Waiting on. Yeah,
No.
sorry, what was that? Freya.
Yeah, Freya just was banned out there by Desto's 10-minute microwave miracles.
Oh, there we go.
And then followed up by the Lancelot. Obviously, these are just pretty standard bans in this set. You'll see in a 3-game set that a mini meta is created between the two teams where they value picks over others. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cuckoo was picked up or banned here, considering how much work he did last game.
I'm very surprised they banned out the Freya. The Freya for them didn't really work out, and I don't think Five Guys Three Lanes could pull it off. But Flix is really good on the mage ADC, so he could probably do work on it. But yeah, the Nemesis being banned, very standard ban, and the Chernobog getting banned, that was potent as well on the game 2 from Microwave.
Yeah, it's just good bans coming out here from both teams, recognizing the issues or potential issues that the other team could cause for them and their upcoming drafts. So I'd like to see Five Guys draft some duo pressure here personally. But Kepri has been let through. That would be the first time tonight, won't it? Out of all 5 games.
Yes. Yeah, Capri's just been either first band or second band. Just very, very good support with the res and the peel he has, and he's been played a lot. 15. Is that 15 times played? Yes, it is.
And, yeah, 15 times played.
Yeah, be played a lot. And first picked, I I do like this pick being
Yeah,
picked up.
absolutely.
Very, very good pick.
Yeah, well, obviously, if they start drafting some executes, they can play around the Kefri a little bit easier. But executes aren't really, Achilles isn't the strongest right now. Thana can do
Yeah.
some work in the early game, but definitely still has his falling off late game problem. And I'm not sure that's a Furin God. I'm not quite sure about Furin's God pool. I know Set's in it, but
Yeah.
anything else I'm a bit unaware of.
You do have the Ao Kwong as well that you could pick up,
Absolutely,
but
yeah.
probably won't see it because it's kind of rough. Can get it countered as well, but looking at the Horus Poseidon hover, Horus
We
getting
love the
locked in,
Horus.
and
We love the Horus.
yeah, the Horus was very, very good, and Poseidon getting picked up and looks to be getting locked in. Poseidon very, very good with the Horus, I feel like as well.
Yeah, the thing about Poseidon is though, it's going to be rough to get giant value out of it with the Kepri unless you're building full CDR. Just because obviously his giant burst damage comes from his Kraken, but that's a pretty easy res for a Kepri.
Yeah.
Unless this Horus can lock down the Kepri as that's happening. And
Yeah, I wonder if you can Kepri, if you can Poseidon on the Kepri, but I don't know if that will work. Kind of rough, but yeah, Kepri just res is just annoying.
Yeah, I think that's a net win for Destos if they Poseidon or Kepri.
Yeah, true.
But the Jingwei being hovered here is great as well because the dash out of the Horus knock up and the Poseidon Kraken is just ultimate safety. Like Horus is going to have such a hard time locking down this Jingwei, only going to be able to stun it, and then as soon as you knock it up, the Jing's just got her fly away and then has extra agility from it.
Yeah, Jingwei, really, really good pick here. Yeah, and the Achilles being picked up. There we go. I was gonna say an execute, but the Kepri is on their team, so yeah, getting rid of an execute for them, I guess. And Achilles hasn't really been played this season. Gonna be interesting to see if it's gonna be in the jungle or solo.
I would assume it's in the jungle here, as we're seeing some tankier solos. I'm not sure if the Achilles can get onto the ADC as well as an Osiris would, like last game, and I think that's what they were looking for.
Yeah, and Achilles jungle has been played in SPL. It's been built the Golden Blade and just been popping off there, so be very
Does do a
interesting
lot of
to
damage.
see. Yeah, it does do a lot of damage. Also, the execute is just really, really good. But Hornbats being locked in by 5 guys 3 lanes. Their team comp is basically just set up for this Poseidon. It looks like.
Yeah, it's looking like the Humbats is good if they decide to bat the Kepri and then, pick off the high priority target with the Poseidon or Poseidon/Horus. But that's going to be an issue because as the Jingwei is the only thing that they can really look for right now, and obviously they don't know what the other backline is. It's going to be hard for them. But I do like the Hunbats. It hasn't had the best run tonight. It's done okay. I think is it 1-1 tonight?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's 1-1.
No, 2-1. 2-1, I believe. I believe Furin won with its first game.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it has been doing really well, in my opinion. But jungle bands coming out from 5 guys 3 lanes, the Ratatosker and the Daji. Very, very good bands. I do like the Daji band. Just Daji goes on Poseidon really easy, and the Rat band, just to be safe, could be a Rat solo or Rat jungle, because I think we do like Unga does like the Rat jungle, so very good band.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Artemis being over here now, that would be a ballsy call. I would like it. That's a lot of CC coming out from 5 guys 3 lanes if they do decide to choose that one between Caledonian Boar, Fear No Evil, and Kraken.
Yes,
and
that is a lot of CC.
Yeah. That's a ton of CC, and that's kind of what they were lacking last game. So it's nice to see them correct that. CC is one of those things, even with diminishing returns, that you still get a lot of value out of, no matter how much you have.
Yeah, definitely. I have a question. Do you think Horus and Artemis have a really, really good lane pressure? Because I feel like it's going to be kind of rough for them in the early game, but I'm not really sure.
Against the Kefri Jing, I would give it. It depends if the Horus can get a good knock up onto the Jing, while the Artemis is hitting her to get the Artemis passive. But I would just say on scratch, I'd give it to the Kefri Jing. And looks like the Camazots. I still think we're right about the Achilles jungle. I think that's going to be a Camazot solo. Notoriously an issue being able to build Soul Eater over there.
Yeah, definitely. It's just so annoying as well. Camazot has a lot of sustain and a lot of poke. It's kind of like an Osiris, but just has the ult that can really be annoying as well. It's kind of a safe gold as well. And Disco being picked up. We haven't seen a Disco in a while, I think. I think we saw it maybe last week actually, but yeah, Disco being picked up into this comp by 5 guys 3 lanes, kind of a risky pick.
Yeah, what do you think the Disco brings here that they really want? Just like straight damage, maybe the taunt, like the strife between the Artemis and the Poseidon could really mess up like their team fight. If they could
Yeah,
get that.
yeah, I know Advantage loves his Disco. I have seen him play. I think he's the only one that plays it, but yeah, I'm guessing the taunt is really good, and they must just have a really good setup with just Disco ult into Kepri pool. So yeah, it must be just a comfort pick if I had to guess.
Absolutely, and the Cuckoo picked up into the final slot for Dunk Me Daddy for 5 guys 3 lanes, and personally, I think I'm going to give this one to 5 guys 3 lanes. I just love how much CC they've drafted here. If they can find high priority Poseidon ults while this Kepri is CC'd, I believe they could make a massive impact in these team fights.
Yes, definitely. I'm gonna go the same 5 guys 3 lanes. I love the Horus, Poseidon, and just the whole draft in general. It's just really nice. Desto's 10-minute microwave miracles. They do have the Kepri, but I feel like they don't really have much to go. I don't really like this Disco in mid. It's kind of a bit rough for her, but we'll have to see. Unga Instincts and Young Legs are gonna be popping it off. Hopefully running it down. So
Absolutely.
we'll
Game
take it.
3, get excited. Let's go back to the casters. We're gonna have Dice Heart and Abs Pro again. Let's go, boys.
Let's go.
Thank you very much. And yes, we are getting into our third and final game for this set between Desto's 10-minute microwave miracles and 5 guys 3 lanes. This is exciting, Abs. We're finally at our third game.
The third game. This is such an exciting set to watch.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm still like, who's going to win this?
I honestly have no idea, and I'm so excited to find out. Hey.
With how game 1 went, this could go either way. Game 2 is, it was pretty telling how Microwave was able to run down the game with Young Legs being so aggressive and Vintage Cow pulling out so much damage. But I don't know. I've got to give this comp to the 5 guys. I think they've got a lot of pressure. Their team fighting is very strong between the Kakalon and Twinbat.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like the comp that they've built for themselves here. Having Poseidon as well to follow up, and like they've just got so much CC in that comp as well. Flix is going to be able to get that new Caledonian, or that Caledonian ball out into the Kraken. We saw how well Durf played on that Horus as well, and I'm so excited to see him back on it. But is it enough to deal with the Kepri?
The Kepri is a pretty monster pick here. They can commit so much. 5 guys can commit so much onto the Microwave squad, and it means nothing if there's a Kepri ult in play. So it's really going to depend on how Destinate plays his Kepri. It is a bit more, in the back line compared to what he was doing on the Ymir, but I'm sure he's going to be able to pull it out.
Yeah, 100%. Now, as the solo laner main among us here, amidst us here, what do you think of this start coming out of the Kakalon Tainted Steel first item? Oh,
I
starter
think
item.
it's pretty important against the Camazots.
Mhm.
However, the Camazots did go T2 Bauble. So that's even more interesting. Not as much healing coming out as if he had like the Warrior's Axe or anything else. But Tainted Steel is going to be pretty telling for the late game. Achilles heal as well as the Camazots pull. So
yeah,
very important. The Kakalon won't need it as much for clearing, but it will hurt in the early game.
Yeah, 100%. I'd expect that potentially an early rotation coming out from Furin to knock down this Camazots, who obviously won't have nearly as much healing with that Tainted Steel on the Kakalon here.
I think it is a good, as we see some pressure in Juro lane, but still everyone being a bit safe.
Everyone's chilling.
Nice knock up from Snowy.
A good play there, and Desto's pretty healthy on this Kepri as well. I expected him to take a little bit more damage in this early, but that Kepri shield on the passive is just keeping him so healthy.
Looking back, I do think it's a good idea that the Kakalon went Tainted Steel. You don't know who you're against, if it's a Camazot or an Achilles. Both work in solo lane, both work in the jungle.
Yeah.
It's hard to read, so
Yeah.
building anti-heal for both
It's just
is
safe.
still a good idea.
Yeah, and I mean, he's in the best position of his life now that he's got that as well to deal with both of them. You're just never going to be able to deal with this Kakalon, and he's dealt with both the jungler and the and the solo laner so well.
he's done well. If he gets rotated on, then he's got a bit of both defense and anti-heal. So you know what? Looking back, he played that well.
100%.
What HS?
I'm almost willing to just sit there and watch him in case he gets. Oh, as Vintage plays up really hard into Gorilla there, forces the beads out of the Poseidon so early, and yikes, that was a really aggressive play from Vintage, but it worked out, I suppose.
Like getting beads pre 2 minutes, you're never gonna say no to that.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna have an Achilles run down, stun, and then he's dead. So even a Kepri pool not gonna be able to get cleanse from that pool. So Gorilla could be in trouble. He's gonna have to stick close to his T1 if he can help it.
Yeah, absolutely. He could be in a lot of trouble there, and there's definitely enough follow-up from that Discordia as well, as we see Unga's rotated over to secure this blue buff for Young Legs, but meanwhile, Legs... Oh no, sorry, Unga rotated for an invade, but didn't finish it off? Oh, he did.
How
Okay.
strange. Oh, okay.
Alright.
Yeah, Icon's having a bit of trouble there.
Icon's still there, but Legs picks up his own blue buff, and meanwhile, Unga trying to play aggressive on Fury, not going to achieve anything, and I think Dunk's about to realize that he no longer has a blue.
Unfortunate, but for Kyron, not necessary blue buff, so
Yeah.
it's not going to hurt him too much. You know, if he's a King Arthur or if he's a Cthulhu, he's in a bit more trouble, but Kyron, he's fine with that.
Yeah, it doesn't really need a mana bar. The old Cullen does pretty well without it, as a matter of fact.
No, it's been a few times where I've been like, wait, why is it orange? Oh, he's got some rage.
It's not
right.
mana, it's rage, yes.
One ragey boy, as some would say.
He is, I mean, that's his secret. He is always raging.
He is always raging. He does well over in that solo lane. He's quite a contestable pick at the moment.
Yeah.
Being, you know, quite a monster in the late game to lock down these carries. Let's see if he can get to it. He's some pressure in mid. Vintage pushing up, but Gorilla fighting back.
I was just looking over here to see if Flix is getting pressured out too hard. I think he used his beads there actually as Derv blinks in, looking for the Vintage cow, but the Kraken was just off the mark there. Gorilla and Derv trying to work together, but maybe the comms weren't perfect, maybe the position wasn't perfect, but Vintage is going to walk out.
That would have been massive for the
That was a kill.
guys.
That was first blood. There's no way Kraken doesn't kill there.
Definitely a kill. They do get beads still from the cow, so Discordia still without some CC immunity aside from her ult, but she does still have it, so not looking like too much happening in this game so far. Gold looking very even, maybe with a 10-20 advantage for the five guys.
Not
So
barely anything, yeah.
very stock standard game so far.
Yeah, without a doubt. I'm hoping that five guys aren't going to get into their heads too much after that, as Desto gets a pull off there and a little bit of damage coming out in Furin as well, followed up by Vintage.
That's pressure right there.
Yep.
You know, Destinate doesn't really have any eyes on the jungler, and he's still looking for a grab pre 5 minutes under the T1.
Without his ultimate, by the way. No Kepri ults up and you're still going for a dash there. No worries, man. And even deeper, he's going to chase into these back camps looking for Furin as well, potentially trying to steal them out. This is ballsy from Desto, but, I mean, why not?
He's playing a Kepri and he's doing this.
Yeah. That's terrifying. That scares the life out of me.
He has Guy Fieri behind him yelling him to go in.
Oh, without a doubt. His microwave is off. It's not going to lag him out. Only Guy Fieri exists at this point, and it's working.
He's doing well. The Go Fury comes into play. Still not much happening. Farming from both sides. Duo lane looking quite calm. Artemis and Jingwei. Who wins that matchup, guys, do you think?
Or, I really think it depends on what point in the game. Like, Jingwei's such a safe god that I don't even think she's going to be trying to take the fight for the vast majority of the game. But I mean, if Artemis can get an ult and a trap off, and if she's right at the right point in her build, she might just lock down the kill before the Jingwei can get away.
It will be quite interesting to see, as Vintage has a bit of a lead. Even Younglegs getting a slight advantage over in the solo lane. Destiny cripping out into mid lane.
Yeah, I'm.
Well,
It's such a close early game. Like, it's really going to be quite devastating when someone finally gets a kill here. I think now already, at least 6 minutes in and no kills picked up.
the amount of pressure coming out in this lane, I think I just might have to take a few sips of water. I think.
Yeah, I think that we were just hydrated, as a matter of fact.
Quite nice. Thank you to Guy Fieri, our sponsor.
Guy Fieri, prayer hands.
Prayer hands. He's giving me my water that I need to pass effectively. So thank you very much, Guy Fieri.
Thank you, Guy Fieri. Man, that's going to be a meme. As we see finally Scorpion being picked up by Microwave here, which should give them, I mean, pretty much an even game as we're seeing, and not a lot changing here. I don't know where this first blood is going to be. I was suspecting that it would be from Dunk over in this duel lane, but now he's fallen quite low to Young Legs here, and definitely not winning this lane at the moment. Is still unable to back there as well.
Let him back.
Yeah, let the man back.
let the man back. You know, no one wants any vampire bats on their way back to base.
Did manage to get back.
Wow, look at the
despite
pressure.
Desto's rotation.
Yesterday, even in right lane, just chilling.
But for
He's
doing
just
that,
running
there's
all
a
over the
stun
map.
coming out from Divinity there, and the Fear No Evil came out, but the Bees was able to cleanse both the stun and the Fear No Evil, and Vintage is going to get under this tier 2 tower. Gorilla might be looking for the play, but Snowy's here. There is a Kraken available. Snowy forced to use that ultimate as well, and now he's definitely not winning that 1v1 against the Artemis.
These teams are so scared, and they should be.
Yeah.
This is the first set of 3 that we've seen in the OCL, and both
Season
teams
2?
don't want to
Yep.
lose it so bad.
Oh, and Furin
It's
took
important to
about
note
half
that
of
I
his health there.
believe.
Mm.
Dropped red.
Blink him from Unga, but off the mark, Divinity was able to body block that ultimate out from the Achilles. But Furin is going to fall for first blood to Unga. Flick's forced to use his beads there as well as a big grouping around that Gold Fury. And why did that happen? I don't know. I guess it was off the invade on the red buff there, but well played by Unga to pick up that kill.
This fight's been going on ever since Vintage got altered under that T2 almost,
Yep.
and it's still going.
Yeah, Unga not done with this one yet. Gorilla forced to use the beads there and crack him once again off the mark this game, and that misplay is going to cost him his life, and Derv probably not going to be able to pick up Unga here as Destinate rotates in. Flicks though, using that Caledonian ball, but a huge ultimate from Desto. Frame perfect to keep Unga alive there, and now being chased down is Divinity. Gets the stun off onto Desto, but he's going to regret doing that. He's likely to fall here as the rest of the team chases him, but a nice knockup from Derv as well is going to keep him alive while the rotation comes in, and Furin picks up the kill on Unga, still chasing down into Desto. No Scarab's Blessing available. Flicks picking up that kill, and now Snowy potentially the one in danger as Vintage Cow gets that Apple of Discord off. A nice trap from Flicks though is going to keep him alive there. Vintage forced to jump out, and that was insane.
This fight went for about 2.5-3 minutes.
Wow.
Pretty stock standard start from both teams, but everything's just happened in 2 to 3 minutes
Yep.
over in this left hand side of the map. I can't believe Derv lived there.
There's
no way.
There's no way you turn around, you dash, you hit the Kepri, they shell, you knock up both of them and live, and then your ADC and jungle get the other 2 kills. That's ridiculous.
And he just walked away.
Yeah, he just went, oh, okay, I did my
said,
job.
Okay, no worries. I'm going to put on my auto walk, and he just walked back.
See you later. I CC'd them both. It's up to you guys to do the thing. And, I mean, this is OCE for you. Like, they just go hard.
I think he had pretty confidence, a lot of confidence, sorry, in his team.
Oh, yeah.
To really get him out of there.
Yeah.
Because it's not every day you just see a Horus 2 into the back line, and then he's just going to walk away.
When you're 1 health the whole time.
Team, 5 guys, 4 guys.
4
You're
guys.
going to back me up.
And it worked out for him. I'll be honest. As a support main myself, if I'm in that situation, I'm leaving my team. I'm not defending your red buff while I'm on 1 health, no shot. So Dev really showing some moxie there, as you might say, to hold on to that red buff and get his team 2 kills to keep him in this game.
Yeah, no, good work by Derv to really get out of there, but looking like a bit more pressure back on this red buff. More fighting happening.
Yeah, they've tried to play up onto Furin a fair bit there. It looks like that red buff will go down, and there was a Kraken there as well. Unga Instinct is going to pick up Gorilla, though, as a Kraken once more off the mark, and now there's a Jingwei that's rotated into this fight as well. Huge Fear No Weaver, though, is going to lock down 3, and on the other side of it, Caledonian Ball locks down the 3 again as they try to get out of it, but Apple of Discord has hit Flicks, and now he's low, but Unga Instinct is going to fall low as well. There is a Scarab's Blessing on him, and nice play, though. They popped that Kepri ult so that Flicks would survive outside of the ultimate, and Dunkley Daddy's rotated in to pick up Unga. Furin picks up one as well, but Flicks falls to Snowy. Snowy now trying to save himself and get out of this one, but Dunk is so big and he's here right now looking for Snowy, unable to pick up the kill. As the rest of the teams rotate out again, and again a fight over the red buff with kills on both sides.
We get a possible goal fury as Gargantua Gus running down mid lane to hopefully pressure that mid. Good timing on Gus to be in that mid lane, although we do have a Discordia walking over, could spell some trouble.
Might just die for this though, as Dunk and Furin jump on him, leaving Derv on top of this Gold Fury by himself. Gorilla's here now as well. Derv very low, but should be secured out. Vintage might be able to get the steal though. The 2-1 they come out, but it's not enough. 5 guys, 3 lanes pick up that Gold Fury. Gorilla though potentially out of position with Snowy in the area. No.
Good play by 5 guys to read that, you know, most members of the Microwave Squad really backing up to base. Gus still in mid lane.
What is this? Apple of Discord comes out. Furin is going to fall straight away to that damage, and a nice play off of the back of losing that Gold Fury from Microwave.
You know what? When you lose a Gold Fury, you go mold mode. You go angry. So they just ran it up to the 5 guys, and they took one. There's 4 guys left.
There are only 4 guys left, at least for the next 10 seconds. And yeah, absolutely. After 5 guys got that low, trying to pull such an early Gold Fury, it was the right call to look for someone and now potentially put some pressure into this mid wave.
I've got to say, Five Guys have done really well this game. After that second game loss, the amount of pressure that they put on an early gold fury, the amount of fighting, the kills are pretty much even. Only 1,400 gold down, but they've still got some pressure and they're still willing to fight for this game 3.
Absolutely, and I can feel the buttholes clench from both teams right now. Every time someone dies, the other team is right there to get a counter kill, and they are just desperate to keep themselves in this game and pick up the win for their second week in OCL.
For the viewers at home, Dice, I think we might need to just recap who wins this game and what do they get from it.
Who wins this game and what do they get from it? What do you mean?
As in standings and points, and I believe point systems work as we see a bit of a pressure on to Desto.
Very aggressive onto Desto here. He's got nobody around him, and 3 members of Five Guys are there. Divinity does get the stun out, but nobody decided to follow up the horror assault.
Wow, bit of pressure on the blue buff.
Unga now, but Fear No Evil is going to lock down Unga. There is a Capriole. Scarab's Blessing comes out, and Furin falling quite low is inside of execute range, but Unga's going to be off the mark with that ultimate. Young Legs here now as well is going to chase down the 5 guys inside of this one particular lane, except 3 guys, 1 lane. And potentially Microwave are going to pick up this Pyromancer now that 5 guys are forced out.
I think they know that they're going to back off. They've got some ward vision, but they're still around the area.
Yeah, Derv and Dunk playing that pretty smart. They decided not to back. Derv was charging his back, but he stayed in the area, make sure the Pyro is not going to fall.
How interesting. There's at least a 2-level discrepancy, or maybe 1.5 to Young Legs in the solo lane, yet he has no kills, and Dunkley's got 1.
Yeah, I think the big rotation coming out as we see Pyromancer has been picked up, in fact, by Microwave here. Furin in the area and Gorilla over the wall. Derv has already blinked in though, and he's surrounding a lot of people here. Beads and Aegis used there by Vintage as Derv got that stun off Gorilla though. In a bit of danger here. Might be able to get the Kraken off in time, but he does. But Apple of Discord came out at the same time, and Vintage Cow is going to fall. Unga Instinct picks up Gorilla. Desto now very low on Scarab's Blessing. Not available. Young Legs though has blinked into Furin, and the kill is going to be picked up. Derv picks up Unga in the meantime, and it's a massive trade, 3 for 2 in favor of 5 guys, 3 lanes, but no objectives are going to come off the back of that.
3 for 2, and there's even a less goal discrepancy now. 600 between these 2 teams.
Oh yeah.
This is a ripper of a game so far.
This is ridiculous. There's been so many things that we've been wanting to talk about, and we don't get a chance because the fights keep breaking out.
2 teams really showing that they have what it takes to be in Smite OCL, and I'll go back to what I was saying before, Dice. When these teams win games, scoreboard tells us you get 3 points if you win a set 2-0.
Correct. Yeah.
What do you get if you win a set of 3?
If you win a 3-game, like you go 2-1.
Yes.
So you take your 2 points for your 2 games won, and the other team will get 1 point for their 1 game won. So it's a point for every game that you win. And
okay, I see.
Yes, yeah, and then at the end of the day, that's all going to be.
To reiterate for some of the folks at home, these scoreboards will be changed quite drastically by even this set already. As both teams have 1 point. You know, we're going to see some 3rd, 4th, and even 5th places by the end of this week.
Without a doubt.
Very interesting to see.
As Furin rotated over with Dunk Me Daddy very low onto that T1 tower in solo. Furin locking down that kill. Yeah, absolutely. After that first week where everyone was pretty much tied up in 1st or 2nd places, you'd pretty much expect this is going to completely change up the scoreboard a fair bit and really define these top 5, top 4 sort of slots between all of these teams.
Really excited to see how Smite OCL really picks up in the next few weeks. Even this game has been quite an eye-opener for myself, even. To see how these teams play, you know. A lot of veteran players coming out, and there's still a lot of aggression.
Yeah, we're seeing, I mean, this is pretty much like a veteran player team versus a much, much newer squad of players, and we're seeing such a close set between them, so that's so exciting to see that these guys can keep up with each other in such a close set.
Very exciting. Looking at Gorilla Slashline, 0-3 unfortunately. Krakens have been on the mark when he needed them to, but he is still falling. I wonder if he can change up how he's playing to be able to not die as much in these engagements as we see a bit more of recruitment on the left-hand side of the map.
Flicks lost that purple buff. No, he managed to secure that purple buff. Okay, I was terrified that he lost that purple buff to a Kepri, but now Desto surrounded by 3. There is a Kraken available at the moment. Desto has been locked down by Divinity and knocked up as well. Looks like he used that shell there too to keep himself alive, but now turned around on his Gorilla, forced to use those beads out of the root from Kepri, and there's a big grouping from Microwave around this Gold Fury.
Wow, I'm just kind of looking at the net worth. Artemis and Jingwei still ahead. They've been doing a lot of farming in this left lane. Gold Fury being drastically reduced, 50% health.
Yeah, I don't think that 5 guys are going to be able to contest this. Nobody walking into this one as Young Leg zones out the entirety of 5 guys, and it does fall to Microwave.
Unfortunately, they're just looking for their own farm, not even getting red buff. Also dropped the green.
Well, he got the red buff.
You got
No.
the red buff?
No, Young Legs stole that through a Kraken.
Oh my.
Wow. And Young Legs still diving deep into this one as well as the T1 tower now in mid is under pressure, and I am still in shock that Camazot's out secured. Okay, blink in from Young Legs as well. He's able to get up into the ultimate as well as he's surrounded by 3 people there. Now down to lower than half health. Should be able to heal up though as Derv blinks in and gets the stun off into Desto. Meanwhile, Fear No Evil directly onto Young Legs, but Unga Instinct over this wall. He's able to get the stun off as well. Furin forced to jump out of this fight, but 5 guys, 3 lanes still playing aggressively here. Vintage Cow though full health under his tower and should be able to provide enough pressure to back off the 5 guys towards the Pyromancer.
Looked like it was just a bit of odd target selection from the 5 guys. You know, we had 2 different engagement in that mid lane, one on Kepri and one on the leg. So unfortunate. They do seem to be wanting to pick up this Pyro.
And 5 guys have managed to pick it up. A good bit of zoning coming out from Dunk, and Furin was ready to go in on Desto as well if necessary. So Pyro falls away to 5 guys and still completely even. Look at this chart. Look at that. There's barely a gap there on gold. XP tells a different story about 3k in favor of Microwave, but this game has been so close for the entirety of the set.
The more we've been talking, the closer these 2 teams have gotten. And this is... Wow, this is really going to shape up to one endgame fight and who plays it better. This is such a close game.
I'm so excited to see how this game turns out and whether or not the Kepri is going to be the big difference maker, whether it's going to be all the CC coming out from the 5 guys team. It's going to be absolutely wild to see.
We see some of the skill of these players coming out. We see a 2-level lead for Young Legs. Opposite on the other side, Furin a 1-level lead over Unga. Level advantage for Vintage. And otherwise looking quite even with Destiny a level ahead and the 2 carries being quite even. So, you know, player skill really being shown here. Who has the dominating force?
Without a doubt, as we see aggression coming out towards this blue buff as well. Young Legs taken to about a quarter health there in this fight with Furin. Fear No Evil does come out before Yegs can get up into the ultimate, forced to use the beats and the ult to get him out of that one. Now a primary target, Divinity in the area, Unga Instinct around this corner to potentially provide some peel and Desto there too. Not a lot to be fighting over here, but if they picked up Young Legs there, they'd be in a much better position with, like you said, Dunk a fair bit behind at the moment.
I don't think Yegs needed to use all of that there. He shouldn't have really been on that right-hand side of the map, but he was, and he gets punished for it. So it'll be interesting to see how he does his next engagement into the back line.
Yeah, 100%.
Without a bat out of hell and his purification beat.
I can imagine that he's probably got the time to wait for it to come back up. You know, he's...
Yeah, well, no objectives for at least 2-3 minutes, so there's going to be some fighting over the buffs here, it looks like, but nothing much going on. They should
Although a pull onto Divinity from Destiny is able to jump out of that one, though, and yeah, I mean, there's just no pressure coming from the solo lane right now. Like you said, without Bat Out of Hell, there's not much he can do here, and he's not going to dive in that scenario, I wouldn't imagine.
No, there's no way. I wonder if they still pressure this T1
There is a
tower.
gargantuan Gus here.
They have a Gus, he's coming up mid lane. They just need to give it some time.
Yeah, as soon as this Gus gets close enough, I imagine this tower's going to fall. They do have an Emperor's Armor on the side of 5 guys, but Derv already falling to about half health here, and Desto might be looking for a pull in this scenario, and in fact, it looks like the 5 guys are going to try to contest this one, potentially knock down the Trebuchet.
Still see your legs in the back.
Oh, Furin forced to use his beads there as Divinity gets pulled in, has to use that knock up to provide some peel for himself there, and Fear No Evil comes in doing a lot of work. Snowy forced to use the beads and the ultimate to get him out of that one. Vintage very low at the moment though, being chased down by Dunk. Scarab's Blessing does come onto him and keeps him alive for a little bit longer. Now Desto gets the pull off onto Dunk and they're looking for the DPS, but it's not going to be enough. Now Furin being engaged on by Young Legs in the back line. Blink out from Furin and Unga picks up Dunk Me Daddy, and in the meantime, Young Legs diving onto Derv. Flix is in the area, though he might be able to get some damage off, but Flix falling very low, and he's going to be pulled in by Desto there. Caledonian Ball comes out, but not in time before Desto gets the kill with the tick, and that fight by far and away went the way of Microwave.
Microwave did really well there to pick those 2 kills up. The amount of time Flix spent in that duo lane farming, just to be killed by a bat. Unfortunate for him. You know, Young Legs really showing he has a skill. I do want to give some props to Dunkme. He did really well to give pressure onto Vintage on the Discordia. You know, drawing the Kepriot out really saves some of his teammates as the fire is started 21 minutes.
I have to assume though that in that fight, if they had just let the Kepriot come out and then turned around and started focusing on the same target instead of having a really split fight, that the fight might have gone the way of 5 guys, 3 lanes. But Microwave getting the better half of that. Young Legs did a lot of work to kill Flix incredibly fast there in the Fire Giant. And the lead go to Microwave from this point in the game.
It's a drastic lead. 4k gold. This is the biggest lead we've seen so far in this game. And that's saying a lot when we've seen so much fighting on the left-hand side of the map.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Valkyrie spawning in now, so it would be interesting to see what Five Guys do in an attempt to kind of shake up this game, whether they can bring it back.
Younglegs
If they
already in
even
the
contest it at
area.
all.
They might not be, considering how split they are on this map right now. They have to know that this is happening. Furin's in the area, choosing to back instead, and I think it's probably the right call. This is a ballsy fight to take. You know that Younglegs has the ultimate available. You're terrified of this bat at this point.
Flicks walking up though, no, and he's let it go.
Thank God. If Flicks had walked into 4 people there, he would have immediately died.
Once again, would have become 4 guys, 3 lanes.
Indeed, it would have.
But it would have died very fast as
I mean, as Guy
Kyron's
Fieri
coming up.
really carries us through this game at the moment. This is
Guy
just...
Fieri really showed his promise in that right-hand side.
Without a
in the
doubt.
Fight. And that mid lane, maybe Guy Fieri is the one who saved Vintage Cow.
Look, after that pause
Don't
in the
know.
first game, the Microwave boys, they prayed to Guy Fieri. They said, we need a reverse sweep, and it looks like it's on its way right now.
That's exactly what it was, as the Pyramids was pulled, but not taken.
Interesting as well,
Yes.
considering the lead and the aggressive position, as well as having the Fire Giant, the Microwave having this position, that they wouldn't just do
That
the
goal
objective
free
there.
was so worth it. They've come back, what's that, almost 6k up
Oh yeah,
in the matter of, 3-4 minutes?
Yeah.
One fight.
one
This
fight.
shows this is all it takes for these two teams to really one mistake, and
Yep, and it all falls apart from
big
there.
discrepancy.
I mean,
Yes.
and we saw as well, it was such a well-timed fight. You've got a Trebuchet available, the objectives are coming up, Fire Giant's there, Gold Fury about to spawn, and of course it's going to go hard in their favor after winning a big fight like that at this point in the game.
I do think that the Five Guys have kind of seen this coming.
Mhm.
With Desto picking up an early Emperor's Armor, like you mentioned, it's going to stop a lot of the pressure that the Microwave squad have on these T2 towers. Is a bit of a grouping coming up. I'm surprised Five Guys are wanting to stick up a fight here.
The Blink coming out as well, Fear No Evil comes down too, Younglegs trapped inside of that one, but the Kraken comes down maybe a little bit late, Younglegs is knocked out, but Flicks gets a kill onto Desto before he can get that Scarus Blessing off, and that's absolutely huge in this fight. Furin is knocked up there, but he is going to fall as well to Vintage Cow, Snowy incredibly low, and maybe the chase is going to come out from Derv and Dunk. No, they instead are going to turn their eyes towards Younglegs. The beads coming out of that bat might just be chased down into this T1 tower, Vintage now being aggressed on, and Snowy forced to back while Younglegs stays under to defend this tower. Vintage full
Snowy angled
health.
back. He's going to be there real close with the Jingwei passive, and looks like Five Guys won. that
Dunk's
fight, I
not
would say.
done though, and neither is Derv. They might aggress, but they might regret this one. Younglegs healing up a fair bit, and Snowy's back in the area. They're going to have to leave, and they're going to have to leave fast. The routes available off the mark though from Vintage as the grouping comes out, and we do see those pings onto Unga, and there he is. A blink coming out from Younglegs as well, and onto Divinity does he go. Flick's falling very low at the moment as well as the blink comes out as well off of Derv, and they're sorry, Jesus Christ. The execute comes out and down falls Flicks as well. Derv picked up by Snowy, and all that it would have taken would have been for Five Guys to back off after those backs came out from Microwave, and they would have been just fine taking that win.
And there's an 8k gold deficit now. Whoa. This is all spurred from one fight.
One
mid
fight
lane.
in mid.
One fight, Five Guys, 3 lanes. That's all it takes.
It's all it takes. Five Guys in one lane at that point. I just wish... Oh, as Kraken comes out in the back line as well, and Younglegs is going to fall to that one. Unga, in the meantime, is doing a lot of damage, but falling low himself. So now we're getting a fair bit out onto Dunk, who might be able to get out of this one. Opens the door for some reason, maybe providing the space for Gorilla to get there and threaten onto Desto, but that right side Phoenix fell, and now Microwave are in a commanding position in this game. 9k lead.
9k lead, and while that right-hand side, Dunkme did a great ult onto keeping 3 people out, but unfortunately wasn't enough as the right-hand side Phoenix falls.
Yeah.
Fire Giant is coming back up though, so it is interesting to see what the Five Guys can pull out of their 3 lanes, hopefully 2 now.
Indeed, 2
With
lanes.
one Phoenix being down. It's going to be interesting to see if they choose to fight over this fire or if they want to farm to 20.
Now, your 5 Guys, 3 lanes here, you're 9k down, the XP is definitely not in your favour, Fire Giant's respawning, you've lost that right side Phoenix. Are you taking this fight at Fire Giant, or are you going to wait and take a defense?
Gorilla has his red buff. If he's able to time his Kraken, if they can get close enough to this Fire Giant, it is a fight possibly worth taking.
I agree with you.
I'm thinking some 4D chess moves. If Derv can, get in the air with the Horror Assault, get him out to safety, steal a Fire Giant, could be the biggest heist we've seen in OCL.
I have to agree with you there. This is the opportunity for Gorilla to switch back on and make a steal play here, but he's on the left mids and Fire Giant has already been picked up. Derv is in the area, but I doubt he's going to do much on this Horus by himself. It looks like 5 Guys are opting to give up this fire and take the defense at their Phoenix instead.
I was wondering if we would see a teleport from Coquelin, but I've just noticed he doesn't have one. So he was not able to defend that Fire Giant, and yeah, that's it. They're looking to defend the Phoenixes to see what they've got.
Interesting that he's got Horrific and Blink there. Would you do that in solo at the moment, or would you prefer to have the TP available for yourself?
Well, interesting enough, I've just noticed that Young Legs doesn't have the teleport either. So maybe
Okay.
more of a teleport-less meta coming back into the meta right now, as the solo laners both have links.
I guess.
But one has Horrific and one beads, so interesting.
I guess, yeah, if one person doesn't have it, you don't need it on the other one. As we see this aggression into the mid Phoenix at the moment, not too much pressure from the rest of the map as Young Legs slowly pushing up that left side. I'd say that Microwave are going to wait for Young Legs to get this T1 tower down before they push in though.
Hopefully they do. You know, Furin has to defend that right-hand wave. As they look to pressure mid lane, Destiny in, Snowy out. Not much we can do with an Emperor's Armor on the side of Five Guys.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's going to be interesting. I want to see who's going to take the engagement here. Furin does have the Fear No Evil to provide a fair bit of space for his team once Young Legs does push into that left side. But if he's pushing a wave and right at the time when these guys decide to aggress, it's going to be a huge and easy fight for Microwave. As Blinking comes from Dunk though, and there's the Dapple of Discord Kraken. He's on the mark, and Desto falling very low. Again, not getting Scarab's Blessing out in this fight as Vintage down to half health already, and Snowy being aggressed on by the Cucullin. In the meantime, Unga Instinct doing as much damage as he can, and Young Legs finally rotating into this fight. Blinks in, looking for Flicks, and the bees come down from Young Legs already up into the bat out of hell. Does go Young Legs chasing down Flicks, and he might just be able to pick up this kill onto Furin, chasing him down, and Snowy in the meantime looking for the Phoenix, and Young Legs is zoning out the whole team. Furin falls, but Flicks picks up with the eggs, and Unga Instinct now forced to use his beads. In fact, that looked like a mantle pop as well, as he's forced out of the Phoenix, and this is a huge defense for Five Guys, 3 lanes.
Props to Young Legs to be able to actually get a kill when he's surrounded by 4 people. Good job
yeah.
with 2 legs, but unfortunately does still fall, and the right-hand side Phoenix is coming back. So this game has just changed dramatically again.
And I don't know who told Five Guys 3 lanes this, but they have been pretty consistently giving up Fire Giants and going, we're going to take this Phoenix defense. We're going to be the aggressors on it when we know that someone's splitting. Young Legs is not going to get here nearly on time. Dunk takes the engage, the Kraken comes out. They're targeting the Khepri so that Scarab's Blessing doesn't mean anything. You don't have an extra life if the Khepri dies before he can use it, and they're bringing themselves into this game, back into this game off of that play.
What a beautiful game 3 we're seeing here from the Five Guys versus the Microwave squad, as Pyromans are being picked up. To be quite free for the Microwave boys as the Phoenix has respawned for Five Guys. They're now Five Guys 3 lanes now as...
Right side Phoenix
he
respawns.
does.
He does get that blue buff, and Unga knew there was a sentry there but couldn't clear it out in time. Unlucky, brother.
Unfortunate. It's hard when you see a ward. You're like, quick, get it.
Give me. My attack speed's not that fast. I mean, it looks like potentially Cody Unga's making the right play here, trying to push down and aggress onto this right side Phoenix while it's still low, and he's still got the Fire Giant on him. Still a little while before the fire respawns as well. As you see a big grouping from Microwave in mid lane as well, potentially looking to push this one down again after just losing this exact play.
I'd love to see who is the one who is calling the shots for Five Guys, because whoever it is, they know what they're doing. They know to see another Phoenix is still some aggression being played by Microwave.
Flix was poked out a little bit there, but Desto's already dashed into this tower and taking a few shots for his troubles. Furin, though, getting poked out pretty hard by Snowy over this wall, and Microwave aren't in a bad position to dive this one, but Derv is back under this mid-Phoenix, has the Emperor's Armor procced on it, and avoiding damage pretty nicely as well as Derv. He's got the trick shoes on. As we see, Apple of Discord coming straight down to the Flix, who was rooted there. The Kraken came out, but I don't think it did much. Fear No Evil straight into Unga, though, and he is going to fall in the backline. Meanwhile, Young Legs diving deep, looking for Flix there, and a huge heal coming out from Derv as well. It's not going to keep him alive for long enough, though.
Huge
as
heal.
the mid Phoenix fell. Desto, low, but not low enough. And that was a decent trade-off, honestly.
Well, 1-for-1 on both sides, although a mid-Phoenix has been lost, as we see a Gargantuan Gus pushing up left lane.
Oh,
In a group.
and Microwave
Like
aren't
it,
done
Young Legs
yet.
has some pressure in the Titan room.
Vintage Cow still full health on this Discordia, and it looks like they will play the pressure off of this Gargantuan Gus. Young Legs is not done. He's keeping 2 members of Five Guys. 3 guys, 1 lane at the moment as they try to defend this Phoenix, but Young Legs is going to be able to get in behind them and potentially make a play up on this one. But really, all they have to do is let Gargantuan Gus clear the Phoenix.
Gus is doing work with the pressure in one spot.
Oh
that
my
Vintage Cow.
god,
with that
Young Legs,
down.
look at him go, tanking the Titan, but it's not enough. Furin can't pick up the kill, and maybe, just maybe, they get this left side Phoenix.
They need to lose the Phoenix.
They are going to lose the Phoenix. Young Legs manages to get the Scarab's Blessing on him from Destiny off of... Oh my lord, that was such a good play. The dash came out, the Scarab's Blessing came out, and he's just barely living through that one.
This is perfect for Microwave. They get a free back, and they can look straight at fire. Gus just fell in left lane, although 5 guys, 3 lanes, with only 1 Phoenix left, has to defend left lane and mid lane.
That was ridiculous, and now it's going to be an
Microwave
EFG.
had plenty of pressure onto this AFG.
I don't know any other players, any other teams in the OCL that would play up on that left side Phoenix. Yeah, Gargantua and Gus was there, but you don't have Fire Giant anymore. It's such a risky play with Fire respawning. Oh, although
Horus ulting.
Horus
He's looking to
ulting.
be a bit early here.
And he is straight onto Instinct, who's forced to use the ultimate. Pheno Evil did come out, but it won't be enough to lock down a kill there, as Youngleg's forced to jump away as well. And now 5 guys might be looking for the aggression here, but they have to deal with Firewave soon. They might just have to make the
Humbat's
in-play
ult
on this
down.
Fire.
This next team fight's going to be rough. They don't have a Humbat's ult. They don't have a Horus ult to get them out. Waves are pushing. This is going to be hard for the 5 guys.
I think though if 5 guys are switched on, they should know that Kepriel's still down after getting Younglegs out of that last engagement, so maybe an opportunity. But now Furin going back to defend against Firewaves, and aggression coming out from Microwave already. Flix is standing entirely still. The dash missed off the mark, but Apple of Discord is in, and so is Younglegs looking for the bat out of hell on top of Flix, and the Discordia spread so much. Vintage Cow going to pick up the kill on Flix, and this looks like it could be the game. Gorilla falling 2 to Unga Instinct, and Snowy going to take a lot of DPS onto Divinity, who will take the L to Snowy as well. This right side of Phoenix is the last one standing, and it won't be for long.
5 guys are going through the motions as they only have 1 Phoenix, and everyone from Microwave's running into the Titan room. This is looking like it's going to be
Pheno Evil
first game
is
3
out,
win
but it
of the
won't
OCL.
be enough. Furin doing everything he can. There's so many fire minions here. Younglegs now diving towards this fountain. Vintage Cow gets the kill onto... Oh no, Snowy got the kill onto Furin, but it was all Vintage Cow that did the damage, I'm going to be honest. Dunk doing everything he can to hold it together right now. Scarab's Blessing comes out from Desto. Snowy credited with the double kill. And our 3rd game in the set will go to Desto's 10-minute Microwave Miracles.
Congrats to Microwave. Well done, Desto, and the squad. 5 guys played really well. Got to give my props to Dunk Me. He did really well to try and control that backline. Fortunately, it wasn't enough. Vintage Cow pulling up top damage in that game too.
Wow. What a set. What a game. Wow. Is all I have to say
Wow.
after that. Wow.
This just shows everyone in OCL that all it takes is one fight.
Yep.
One fight in that mid lane where Vintage lived on 1 health with the Scarab's Blessing, and the game changed.
100%. And
The lead went up from there.
and that was insane as well. They played the fight so well. They timed it so well to get off, you know, the objectives directly after it. They had Gargantua and Gus there, and they just snowballed until the end after that. Even after a fantastic defense from 5 guys as well. Honestly, it was anyone's game until right towards the end.
Really important for these teams to notice how important Gargantua and Gus is in these fights. A lot of the fights and the pressure came from him just rolling up the lane. So,
Yep.
you know, get your cups, boys.
Get your cups, boys. And I mean, you would think that it's in the name. It's Gargantua and Gus. That should be enough to tell you that he's OP.
Get to him. Get to him now. Otherwise, you will lose towers, you will lose phoenixes, and if players are smart with it, you can lose objectives.
Yeah, without a doubt, and we saw them play that perfectly. So let's get this MVP vote started and find out who our MVP was from that set. We'll get them in for an interview, and then we'll take a short break before our 3rd set for the night. As we are getting the MVP voted started, I think we'll pass it off to the analyst to tell us about that game, and then we'll go from there.
What a banger of a 3rd game! Unfortunately, unfortunately, 5 guys, 3 lanes, unable to pull it out. Just the Cow once again showing his dominance in the mid lane on these comfort picks, of these a little bit off the beaten path picks. 37k on the Discordia, 4-1 and 11. That's a performance.
Yeah, Vintage Cow comfort pick on the Disco was very, very nice. I didn't really see what the Disco could do, but just watching that set was really, really nice. The Disco was massive into the back line, spread it around, spread the ult around, and this taunt as well with the 2 and the stun, like just very, very nice. Younglegs also just being a menace, like just in the Titan room while they're getting the left Phoenix, just being a nuisance. Like, well done by Younglegs as well.
It was absolutely wild. And I just also like to point out, Snowy went 5-0-5 with 9.7k structure damage. Now, I know that's
Wow.
not the flashiest stat line, but you can't really ask for anything more from your ADC than that. And so,
Yeah. that's what you could want out of a Jingwei, to be honest. But
Yeah, absolutely.
very, very dirty, just split pushing and just getting the towers.
Absolutely, an absolute rap performance by Snowy, and we love to see it.
Yeah, but GG's from what's it called? What's it called? Five Guys Three Lanes played really, really well. Just a bit off the mark with a few of their plays. I feel like they didn't really have the Poseidon ult going their way. Wasn't really set up nicely. Could have gotten a few kills if it was placed right. And yeah, it's just a bit unlucky. But yeah, they played really, really well. This game, the set was so good, and they have a lot to improve on. They can look back at these games and see what they did wrong. Same with the other team. Same with the Microwave. They can look back and see what they did wrong at game one, and they can definitely improve. So well done to both teams.
Absolutely, it's a great role change there. For Five Guys Three Lanes, they can be absolutely happy with that. And Desto's 10-minute microwave miracle was just showing their advantage, and showing the skill that they have in being able to just contain it and bring it to the other team.
Yes, indeed. We're going to have an interview soon with the MVP, and the MVP is going to be, looks to be, Vintage Cow.
How exciting!
How exciting. Let's get Vintage in here now. Hello, Vintage.
The cow.
The
Hey, gang.
cow.
First question: What inspired the Cuckoo pick?
He's good, and I like him.
That's all we need.
Yeah, I thought the Cuckoo pick was really, really nice with the Gilga and the Ymir. You could easily just get your ults off and like get your 3 off. So it was a very, very good draft there.
Thank you. I thought it myself.
This Disco pick, is this a comfort pick? We've seen you play it before, and I think you're the only one to play it. Do you just like Disco, or is it something your team just like you to play, I guess? Or is
Yeah, I kind of just like wanted something that played like Cuckoo, but I don't like playing the same god 2 games in a row, so I picked Disco. But that's just it's really good value for the Apple. She works well with Mirrodin. And yeah, I just needed something comfortable because I was sucking on my thumb after that game 1.
Yeah. Yeah, the Disco and the Cuckoo looked really, really nice.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And how are you? How is your team's performance? Are you happy with the overall performance? Obviously, dropping game 1 not ideal, but then coming back pretty strongly with the games 2 and 3 wins.
Yeah, I think I'm happy how we bounced back. They played like I think it was more like them playing super well that surprised me. Because game 1 they with the Horus and the Oleth, yeah, they played that comp super well. Yeah, and they also just playing into what we had, which was a lot of dive, and they had a lot of stuff that was really cringe to dive into.
Like an old
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, but overall, I'm pretty happy with how we played. Definitely could be cleaner, but you know.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't be mad about that. Obviously, you don't get the 2 clean O, so it is a 2-1 points wise split as well.
Yeah, probably the only loss we'll be taking for the rest of the split.
And you've heard that here.
Oh, okay.
So all the other teams, that's definitely a challenge, I'd say.
Any other questions from our casters?
Still just processing that attack, because I take that personally. Vintage only lost in the split. All right, but no, I mean that was a really great set. Obviously, yeah, I'm still processing that. The Spirit of the Nine wins constantly coming out from that Kukulkan though. I'm just entirely impressed. Who I'm curious though is shot calling on your team for you guys.
Probably
don't have to
mostly
link
me and
that.
Desto.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Definitely not Snowy, and Tony and Legs are both like they
I'd be,
talk, but they're both pretty quiet.
I mean, I'd be falling
And
asleep.
you know, when
with
Legs
either of
talks,
them.
everyone sleeps.
Yeah. I don't think I could sit through that. I'd be falling asleep.
Yeah, it's mostly me and Desto when I can be bothered, but Desto's a really good shot caller.
Funny that. I mean, we definitely, Abs and I were talking about it on the cast when you guys pushed down that mid Phoenix and then decided
Was this
to.
casted?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I'm flushed.
There's more than one sexy male in the
Wow.
house.
Yeah, sieging bit.
Yeah, you were sieging the mid Phoenix, managed to pick that one up, and then just as your Fire Giant was running out, you decided, oh, we've got Gus in left lane, we might as well push the left Phoenix as well before Fire.
Yeah, we just had like all of their impactful ults down, so we knew we could take a fight.
Mhm.
And Legs was zoning really well, so we could just kill Phoenix and get out.
I mean, Legs was fighting Furin inside of the Titan with no threat to his life at all, and Desto got a fantastic
he
ult
was
off
gunning
after.
for my top damage, but he wasn't getting it.
Silly boy.
He was not even close to that top damage. That was wild.
Any other questions from anyone?
No, I think that's it.
Good
Just
question.
impressed.
Yeah, just impressed.
Oh, thank you.
And,
I thought Desto played better. I would have voted for him.
I think the cuckoo and the spice picks, the comfort spice picks, were lovely.
Thank you.
And it was a pleasure to see a cuckoo on that level. The 3-man ult near purple buff was just chef's kiss.
Oof. All right. Well, Vintage, thank you very much for joining us for this interview. Congratulations on your win against Five Guys, 3 lanes, and good luck with your set next week as well, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you everyone for casting, everyone for watching, all the horrible MVP voters for voting incorrectly. Yeah, thank you for for this one in the league.
Thanks, Vintage. Chat to you later. Mwah.